Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today we are answering your YouTube questions. And when I say we, I mean myself and my brother from the same mother, D. D, what's happening?
I'm in a different location right now, and I don't know how I feel about it. We had some serious technical issues, but we are here in Nick's studio, and we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, so we came in
hot.
Yeah, came in hot. You know, I'm like sweaty and stuff, and you know, but here we are. We are going to get your YouTube questions. If that means that we have to change locations and you know, kind of set everything up on the fly and make it all happen. So basically, in the other setup, we were just having some technical difficulties, and it just wasn't working out. So let's see here, questions. Yeah, like we're just sliding in here. Like I'm still getting my forms together and all of that good stuff. But we are going to get all of this sorted and get it rocking and rolling. So if this is your first time here, I do want to let you know that there is a form down in the description where you can get your questions into it. If you can get those into that form, then we will get them answered on the stream today because we don't have a ton of questions in here right now. We do have, let me pull up some stream news real quick. We do indeed have some stream news. I just have to pull up the right doc for it.
News today.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, nothing like, you know, super major in terms of, you know, like YouTube specific stuff, but we do have, you know, some things to talk about. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows what's going on. So for the news today, we have that gift effects for GIFs on vertical live streams are getting some new effects. Basically, these new effects, they just show on the screen for 8 seconds when somebody gives one of those. These are for vertical live streams. In addition to that, as part of this, you can also set gift goals. There are steps to do this, so I do recommend checking out the Creator Insiders video for a full walkthrough in terms of actually how to get to that for those of you that are setting that up. And in addition to that, I do want to just put the reminder out there. Vid Summit is right around the corner. It's happening October 7th through the 9th in Dallas, Texas. If you want information on that, you can go to vidsummit.com. But what Vid Summit is it is a conference for content creators. So if you are somebody that's taking this stuff seriously, then Vid Summit is the place to you to connect with other content creators that are doing this for real, that are taking this seriously, and that are trying to, you know, kind of milk as much juice as they possibly can out of, you know, what it is that we do on YouTube. Vid Summit is the place to go for that. But you can find out information about that at vidsummit.com. In addition to that, we are going to be giving away an overflow ticket later on the stream today. So we had an issue.
You had an issue.
Yeah. D mentions that, you know, I had an issue to where when Derral was on the stream and he gave away some Vid Summit tickets, one of the things that happened was somebody got a ticket and they were not able to go. So because of that, it is now back in the queue, and we are going to be giving that away later in the stream today. But D, you ready to get in some YouTube questions?
I have some news.
Do you feel like you're in a hot seat or something
I feel like I'm being interviewed in one of those podcasts.
Yeah.
Like,
it kind of looks that way.
They
like
have the two, but I'm underlit.
Yeah, you
like
are. You're
you
way
have
underlit.
All of the lights in this studio.
Yeah.
And you just pick, like, I'm going to get the light that gives out the least amount of light. And put it on my brother.
Yeah.
But I have news. The news is, and for those of you who have been part of this journey for the past several years, Mr. Nimmin found my YouTube play button.
Yes.
The YouTube play button that he lost in 2020, he found it. He found it in a box. Guess where? Under his YouTube play button box. His YouTube play button box was on top of my YouTube play button box.
Yeah.
And he found it.
So
now I have it.
Yeah.
And now I'm waiting to coordinate with Mr. Daniel Patel, who has not opened his YouTube play button for 5 years, waiting for me to get mine so we can open them together. So we're going to do some sort of a collaboration on that.
I mean, I don't know, like who's, you know, like if anybody notices, but I mean, that's love. Like, you know, Daniel holding on to his play button for 5 years, having the hope after all hope is lost, having the hope that, you know what, there's a chance that someday the stars will align and I'll be able to open my play button with D.
It's like that scene in Dumb and Dumber where he's like, tell me the odds. And she's like 1 in a million or 1 in 10 million. He's like, so you're telling me I have a chance.
Right.
Right. That's it. But he came through.
Yeah.
It's been in a box on his wall this entire time waiting for someone to find mine, and he found it.
Yes.
He found it.
Yes.
So,
and let me tell you, yeah, when I found it too, I was over the moon. Yeah, I completely freaked out. So what happened was once I found it, and for those of you that don't know what's going on, basically, Dee, do you want to tell them what happened?
Yeah. So it was when the world shut down. I got locked in Mexico. I was stranded in Mexico for 2 years, as some of you know. And during that time, I hit 100,000 subscribers. And YouTube was, I did the whole play button thing, send me the play button. And they were going to send the play button to Thailand because I didn't want to carry it with me eventually from Mexico to Thailand when I could finally get home. They sent it to Thailand. I told him, I said, hey, go to my place and pick up my play button when it gets there. So he goes and he picks up my play button. And then in that process, he moved. During that time, you're bringing me another light? That's super kind of you. He moved, taking my play button with him from one location to his new house. And somewhere in the process, he overlaid his play button box with my play button box, lost it. Well, technically 4.5 years later, he found it. So.
But there's a lesson in this, and that is that perseverance.
Perseverance.
Yeah, that one, you got to know how to say the word when you're talking about it. Number 2 is that perseverance, like in hope, right? If you hold on to hope, maybe things will work out.
And the third lesson here is never let anyone pick up your play button for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you go through the airport and they said, did you pack your own luggage? Because they want to make sure that somebody else didn't slip something into your luggage. Yeah. Same thing applies when it comes to YouTube play buttons or any sort of awards when it comes to all your hard work that you just poured and sweated into your project, and you never let somebody else pick up that reward for you or that award. You pick it, you wait. I should have said, thank you, YouTube, but I'll wait and I'll order that myself when I get home.
Right. But we got it. Now it's in his hands. And for those of you that are kind of follling that for the whole time, journey. And for those of you that have taken stabs at me during the chat, anytime that's come up, now it's got to stop. It's got to come to an end now.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's all end.
It ends now.
Yes.
It ends today. This is the last stream you're going to hear me talking about how my brother lost my YouTube play button. We will not bring it up again from this moment on.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. And Amy Johnson says, did I put it in one of those places to where I'm like, I'm going to put it here so then I know exactly where it's at so I can give it to him when he comes home. That's exactly where I put it. So the box that it was in a box of like sentimental things. So I collect coasters. That's my thing. And basically I had it in the box that had all of my coasters, but there was also some other things in there too. And it was just being covered up by, one of those other things, unfortunately. But yeah, it's exactly what happened. Now, and it just didn't work out, like I had hoped.
I just want to throw one more thing in there, even though I know I said we were going to talk about it again. I do find it ironic that only a week before he found it, I said that I was going to take his 1 million sub play button.
You said that like a year. You've been saying that like for a long time.
Yeah, but I said it and I meant it. I really meant it last weekend. I thought you meant it
before.
No. I was just playing around. But this time I meant it. And then a week later, my play button
mysteriously,
I found it. Yeah. Of course you did.
Yeah, it's good. Love it.
You just hate to see a man succeed.
Yeah, that's it.
Hater.
So, right.
Hater.
Right.
Hashtag Nick's a hater.
Yep, that's right. So yeah, you ready to get into some questions?
Yeah. D? Let's go.
Yeah, so here we go. So the very first question today is from Blind Bard. They do edutainment content. The goal of the channel right now is that they're trying to get 4,000 hours of watch time while also being consistent every week. And they say they've added long form video into their YouTube strategy to increase their watch time. My impressions are low on my latest video, so I've started directing people to it through shorts. It's improved my click-through rate, but I worry about the retention. Does it make sense to continue the strategy, or will it hurt any new videos that I've published? So if you're focused on making good content, then in that particular case, like focus on that in terms of making content that the people that you're trying to serve, that they're likely to enjoy. But in addition to that, keep in mind that when it comes to traffic sources on YouTube, if you have external traffic coming in, YouTube knows that. If you have videos that are getting views from the shorts, then YouTube knows that as well. So when it comes to that sort of thing, like YouTube knows where the traffic's coming from. So, if people do hit that video and they leave that video quickly, it's not something that you are going to get like penalized for or anything like that, because, somebody's just going over there to sample that and they know that that's where it came from. So how that sort of thing works on YouTube is Like, let's say that you publish a video and it does really good on YouTube's home pages, to where, you know, if somebody's logging into YouTube and they show it to people there, you're getting a really high response there. Then in that particular case, there's a very good likelihood that they're going to keep showing your content there as long as it keeps getting that high response. However, if they are showing your videos and suggested videos and you're getting no response over there, then they're probably not going to keep showing you over there. And instead of your content, they're going to start showing other content there that is more competitive for those places. Same thing for search. And it goes the other way around too. So, you know, for example, one of the things that people will find sometimes, especially if they're making, you know, search-based content, is that they will have, you know, good results when it comes from YouTube search, but everywhere else, they are not getting that response. So because of that, then they have to start making changes in terms of making content that might be more relevant to the recommendation system, in terms of it's something that has a high likelihood of somebody being able to click on it and enjoy it coming straight from, you know, home pages and suggested videos too. So that's kind of the idea when it comes to that. YouTube knows where the views are coming from, and they, you know, kind of treat videos according to how people respond based on the different traffic sources of YouTube, for the on platform stuff. Anything to add to that, D?
Nope, I think you nailed that.
All right.
Good.
So next up, we got Home Rapid Repair. And by the way, if you are just joining us, we are answering YouTube questions. So if you have a question about anything related to YouTube, you can put it in the form that's down in the description of the stream right now, or you can go to nickniman.com/ask, and that will redirect you to that same exact form. Because I think, oh yeah, it looks like we actually are, I think, over on Twitter also, and I'm not sure if we lost out on the LinkedIn or not.
Yeah, I think LinkedIn is dead.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so Home Rapid Repair uploads 1 time per week or more. He does home improvement content. The question is, now that you found your brother's YouTube play button, do you feel like a weight has been lifted from your life? Are we even now? Yeah, I do. I feel like, I definitely don't feel guilt about that anymore, which is fantastic. So, not having that guilt, like every time I meet up with my brother, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I lost this play button. So, because of that, I don't have that guilt anymore.
Yeah, what's funny is I looked at you like a lesser man.
Yeah, I know.
Because
and I felt it.
I looked at you and I was like, what? I would think to myself, and I would talk amongst my friends, who's a different circle than your friends, on purpose.
To make sure it didn't come back.
Yeah. And I would say, what type of a person would collect another man's play button and lose it?
I know, right?
Nick's that type of person.
Yeah, right.
And but no, I'm glad you found it. I'm glad that, I don't think of you as that person anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you found it. And we're going to move past it. Yeah. This has been an issue between us for a while. I feel like it's prohibited us from being closer as brothers. And we're able to move beyond this. And you're going to see some really amazing stuff from us moving forward now. I feel like this has been a weight holding us both down.
Yeah. Love it.
We're peacocks ready to fly.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Love it.
That's right.
So next up on the list here, we got Bowls Promo TV. They upload when they have time, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do sport and lawn bowl tournament content. And the question is, I get the views I want, but my elderly retired clients mostly don't have Google accounts, so they don't subscribe. I don't know what question to ask. So if they don't have accounts, but they know where to find you, in that case, that's enough. Like if they're coming in and they're watching your, YouTube live streams, and then that's enough. If they don't have a Google account and they can't subscribe, but they still come and watch your videos, then that tells you that, that they are seeking you out, which is good. And if they don't have a Google account and they're not using a Google account, it wouldn't matter if they're subscribed or not, anyway, because they're not actively using that account. So it's not really going to matter, anyway. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. But the cool thing is, though, is that if you are publishing your live streams and they're seeking you out, like that says a lot in terms of how people are enjoying your content. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I concur.
And D concurs. So next up, we've got It's All His. And let me grab something here so I can just drop this.
Did this light help
in here? Yeah, just a little bit. Okay. It did.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have some feedback. I would like to light him up a little bit more, but we came in hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came in hot in terms of trying to get everything set up in time to go live.
Yeah, he threw together a microphone, a light, a key light, a background light. He put this whole thing together in like 5 minutes and got it all set up just to like hurry up and go. He's here for you guys.
Okay, yep. Put your questions here.
Yeah, get your questions down on the form.
Boom and boom. Okay. So next up on the list, it's all his is the question here. Just leaving it pointed at you awkwardly.
Yeah. Just awkwardly.
While I'm talking, it's just awkwardly pointed over at you.
I don't even know if I'm on cam. So you might want to give me a heads up
right.
before that, so I don't have my finger buried up my nose or something crazy.
You know, technically, oh no, that was on there a little bit too tight. Yeah, we could have ran like an extra HDMI over to the TV or something. That would have been that would have been a good move.
That would have been really helpful.
Yeah, it would have.
But you know, I don't require that.
So for next time, to be prepared, I'll get a whole other TV in here.
You could do that.
Yeah, I'll put a TV and then I'll put it like under the desk, so then you'd be able to see that like really clear.
Yeah, confidence monitor.
Yep. And I'll have better lighting, you know, just in case next time. So we've needed this once in like 4 years.
Yeah.
So if
you could do that, it'd be great.
Yeah, just to be safe. Yeah, got to make sure Dee's lit well.
That's right.
There's one thing I've learned, growing up. It's that Dee needs to have, good lighting.
Proper lighting. Exactly. Right. Yep. You know what happens when you don't properly light me?
What is that? What happens? So next up, it's all
show
his.
Him the scars.
Right. It's all his. The goal of the type of channel is money saving and financial tips from a faith-based perspective. And the question is, a video that I posted a couple of days ago is doing really well for my small channel, over 3,000 views. Nice work. Congratulations.
Yeah, way to go.
The CTR is 9.5%. I've gained 52 subscribers so far. Any tips on how new creators can capitalize on momentum like this now and in the days to come? Absolutely. So what you want to do is you want to look at the video itself and just kind of see how you were doing everything. Because if that video is getting a much better response than everything else, then in that case, it's really important to look at it and try to figure out like, okay, when the video first started coming in, was there anything that I did differently here? Once, we get past that first, 10, 20, 30 seconds, was there anything that I did differently in terms of how I, led into the content or anything like that? But basically from a structural standpoint, just look at it and see if there's anything that you can notice that you did differently. Number two is it's also important to look at the topic of the video itself and say, was the topic, outside of what it is that I normally do? Even though it would still be something that is faith-based, is it still in alignment? Or is it in more alignment with my viewers, or would it be something that maybe would be more interesting to a broader group of people or something like that? Also looking into it to see if, it happened because it was, like a higher topic. I'm actually going to look at the channel here really quick, just so I can take a quick look.
Are you pulling them up on the screen?
No, I'm not going to pull them up on the screen. I don't think unless I need to, but I'm just trying to see what's going on here. Okay, so I cut everything in half. Here's what happened. So that's the thing. And then college debt culture is insane. 7 areas women overspend. Let's be honest. Okay, so in this particular one, I don't even know what the video is about from the outside, but it definitely, is grabbing people's attention. You say you cut everything in half. I'm guessing that means, like all of your lifestyle stuff and things like that. Maybe I'm not sure.
I'm not looking at this. So and I always find it interesting when one person is explaining something. Daniel and I used to do this when we streamed together. Like one of us would like look at the channel and like the other one would turn away and he would like read off like, what do you think about? Just hearing it only. Hearing you say this when you first led with it's a faith-based channel. How does that video tie into what their channel's about? That's my question.
Yeah, so it looks like they're giving advice here about different things, but maybe they have faith messaging inside of that.
Okay.
Because there's nothing from the outside of any of this that says anything that it's faith-based, with the exception of one video at a glance here, and just in these top 8 videos that says spending less and saving more God's way. So because of that, it's not clear that it's faith-based from the outside on pretty much all of these in this top grid, except for that one.
So maybe the messaging inside.
Yeah, but what you might have done there is you might have, definitely created some curiosity with how you package that up. So in terms of that compared to some of the other things that you're doing, I don't really see, a huge difference outside of people clicking on that thinking, what did I do? What did they cut in half? So one thing that I do recommend that you do is go in and look at the traffic sources on this and just see where you're getting the views from, because it's possible YouTube categorized this in some way to where maybe it's showing up in search or something like that. Or if you are getting, direct clicks from suggested videos or from home pages, then in that case, the curiosity, might have been the thing for that particular one. But the move there would be to think about, okay, for what it is that I watched in this content, or what it is that I was talking about in this content, the people that enjoyed this video more than my last nice handful of videos combined, probably your last, probably 10 videos, maybe 15 videos combined. So because of that, think of your next video as, okay, the people that are watching this video are interested in, they were interested in this conversation enough that it was a satisfactory experience for them. Therefore, what could I make for them next that they would be really likely to enjoy based on what they've proven to enjoy from this particular video from a topical standpoint?
Did you say if was the audience mostly people returning, or did you?
No, there's none of that information attached to it in terms of what I got in the form.
I'm just curious if maybe YouTube put that in front of a different audience.
Yeah,
could have in front of a different audience.
Yeah, and another thing too is like with this particular one, because you have like college debt, 7 areas women overspend.
I can't touch my face or anything.
Right, we're watching you, D. We're watching you. You're not. That's a little bit of a delay.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. But it says you're expecting, way too much from your planner. So these all have like financial framing around them. This is the only one in the most recent grid that doesn't have any financial framing whatsoever. It just says I cut everything in half. So, the hook of this particular one, once people, clicked into that, might have been all you needed on that particular one once you got their curiosity up. So, yeah, so basically the whole goal of the of the next thing is of the next video to make is just to think about, okay, if they came in for whatever it is that you talked about in that one, then in that case what would be just a perfect fit for those viewers. Come up with a bunch of different ideas and then think through them all in terms of which video would be the best one to make based on what it is that they already are proven to be interested in from that particular video. And congratulations on having that video do much better also. That always feels good, right? When you have the videos that are just like, they do substantially better. You're like, all right, yeah, okay, it's good. Now we're going here.
Any amount of progress, a boost. Anytime you have one video that starts to do well, it doesn't matter if you upload it. And I agree with Derral. Derral said last week about having the 1 out of 10 metric being like just that'll do
super misleading.
Yeah, super misleading. But still, the dopamine hit you get from like, oh man, I did well with this one. I made a good video again. Right, you kind of like trick yourself into that, but seeing a video, getting those views, watching people respond to something that you make at a rate faster than the other things that you make, it just feels good.
Yeah,
it lets you know that you've tapped into something. Right. Like you feel like I'm doing the right things.
And I think another thing it does too is it gives you encouragement.
Yeah,
right, because it's like, oh, okay, so my videos are okay. I just got to figure out, like how to get these in front of, the right people, how to come up with the right topics, things like that, because I have videos now that prove that when people come into this, that they're enjoying it. Right. Yeah. I think that's a good solid win as well. Scott Pallet Man says there's a dopamine hit. 2 weeks ago, I had a video hit 120,000 views. Nice.
Exactly.
Nice.
If these platforms were smart, they would like put something in. If these platforms were smart, I mean, in terms of like, creator mental health, they would put something out there and say, you know what, let's just kind of randomly every certain amount of videos, let's just knock one out of the park for them just to make them feel like they're doing something good.
Yeah.
And then so they'll just keep going. They'll keep uploading. Let's give them some encouragement. When we notice that they're slacking on uploading, let's give them a little boost. Let's give them a little back in here. Let's give them a little algorithm love.
Yeah.
Bring them back in, get them motivated again, and then let things, fall apart again. And we'll give them a little boost.
Let them get miserable.
Yeah. Let's coddle them along. I think that would be great though. Because I mean, that's where we're at anyway.
Yeah.
It feels good to see that success. So even if they just said, hey, we're just going to give this one a little extra love, that'd be great.
Would add it to the creator side of dopamine.
Add it to the creator side.
Like they've already got viewers locked in, so add it to the creator side of dopamine.
Well, like they're giving brand new channels. Like new channels get a little bit of boost.
Yeah.
They get that little bit of love right now, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Encourage a little boost of encouragement.
Yeah.
Which is needed.
Here you go. It's
needed. I think it's great.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
Too. Next up, we got Roman with Alan. They have been making videos for 1 year or more. They do a travel vlog. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, how can I target my age group, 50 plus? Is there a market for my age group out there in this niche? I feel like I'm aged out. Views and subs are not moving. Thanks for the video on Nano Banana. Love it. Glad that you enjoyed that video.
That was a great video. We haven't had a chance to talk about the video. I watched the video. Mm-hmm. I was going to make that video as my next video, but you made it way better than I ever could. So I'm not going to bother.
All right.
But listen, if you're not using some of these tools, especially watch his Nano Banana video when this stream is over, it's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
And it's currently free.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you think about AI, you need to learn how to use these tools to help you creatively come up with ideas, help you come up with different ways to frame things, come up with different. I wonder what this would look like if I did this instead. I wonder what this thumbnail would look like if it looked like this, or I was wearing a different colored shirt. Those little things that you can do with tools like Nano Banana, but not sponsored, by the way, in any way, shape, or form. But it's one of those things, if you learn how to do it, it can help you creatively. It can help you brainstorm. You might come up with a new thumbnail idea with just a couple of simple prompts that you're like, wow, I never thought of that before. This is so much better. So I urge everyone in here, if you're not taking advantage of the various AI tools out there to help you creatively, to help your workflow move faster, man, you're sleeping on it. Like, get on it. Please, I urge you to learn how to use some of these tools.
Yeah, and with that too, there were some people in the comment section. They're like, "Oh no, not AI," and and saying that they they just want to make sure they're doing everything that isn't AI. Like, I just want everything to be real.
I can appreciate that. I appreciate that.
But I think that when it comes to that, you can also use some of these tools just to even make some of that easier. Like, one of the examples that I gave in that video was like, hey, if you just want to change your shirt color. Right. If you're like, you know what, it would be way better if my shirt was this color, it would make the whole thing look so much better. Then you can do that in like 10 seconds versus having to spend, if you have experience, 5 to 10 minutes doing it in Photoshop. If you don't have experience, then possibly an hour in Photoshop trying to make it work.
Let me share something, which I'm not going to tell you the channel name because I don't want people to go there and watch stuff that they're not going to complete the watch on. Using AI only. Using AI stories. And by the way, this was a test. I did this as a test, but just to show you what I was able to do. AI stories, AI imagery, AI voice with 11 labs. And then I put it together. I did the edit together. I was able to create a TikTok account and get monetized in 6 days on TikTok. I'm pushing hundreds of thousands of views on videos completely created by AI, voiced by AI, the whole thing. So
yeah, I think the top one has like over 800,000 views on that particular one.
It's almost 900,000, and
and you have another one chasing it with like what 500,000 or
and I've got 12,000 followers. In 7 days. It's monetized in 6, but in 7 days. Now this started off as a test just to see how people would respond to this sort of content, and I'm not saying that I would use my main channel in this way, but what it did do for me was it made me think of my own workflow differently. It made me realize that I could use AI to bounce my ideas off of at a deeper level and come up with better hooks, come up with better ways to end, come up with better ways to keep people engaged. So listen, you don't have to do that, but I think you should play with it and see what it can do, because it lighted a whole creative fire in my brain. Lit. Light, what did I say? Lighted. It did that too.
Work. It got the point across. That's what matters.
It hit me so hard it knocked English right out of my brain. Yeah. But play with it. Like, don't sleep on it. If you don't listen to anything else I say ever again,
which I recommend,
go deep into AI right now just to see if it sparks creativity, because I think it will.
Yeah, other things too is like, changing shirt colors. If you're, trying to make something for your thumbnail, you're like, man, it would just be so much better if these people weren't in it here in the background. Boom, circle them, they're gone. Right. Like, it's just so cool in terms of just how fast you can do that kind of stuff.
This plant behind me sticking out of my head, but I'm not going to I don't know how to cut it out. Nano Banana would take it out in like 3 seconds.
Right.
Yeah. Hey,
that's wild.
Shave my face, give me a bright shirt so I don't get lost in the dark background, get rid of the plant and change the background color to green. Boom.
Yeah, one thing I tried to do with it that I wasn't successful with, and I'll get to your question right here in a second to answering your question, by the way. But one thing that that I was trying to do is I took some really amateur photos with my phone, basically just like random shots, and I was trying to turn those into basically just have it treat the photo in a way to where it seemed like it was like a high quality photo, but I just couldn't get it to act properly on that particular one.
No, somebody asked if I was making AI slop. It is not AI slop.
No, it's not slop. It's AI, but it's not slop at all.
Listen, you can make AI.
It's not mass produced stuff.
No, you can use AI to make slop, which I think is terrible, or you can use AI to make very realistic,
good content.
Very good content, right? Yeah. I went that route. I'm not into slop. I think slop is slop. If I put something out there, I want it to be of quality. I want it to be of value. I don't want somebody to look at it and go, oh, that's just, anybody can make that. I had to learn how to do the prompts right and make it sound right. I put the effort in to make it look and sound like it's not AI slop. You wouldn't even know it was AI.
So to get to your question on the targeting, so basically you're trying to target your age group. So the very first thing that can be helpful for that sort of thing, and you're already doing this already, because I'm looking at your channel, is of course, since you are in that age group as well, is putting yourself in the thumbnails. In addition to that, with your type of content where you say, is it worth the visit and things like that, where you have is Galbatar worth the visit. So that that type of framing, you can't necessarily cram 50 plus in there. Like one strategy when it comes to trying to reach certain demographics is by adding what's called an audience identifier. And basically with that audience identifier, what it is you actually put who it is that you're targeting in the actual titles themselves. So for example, if you're somebody that's trying to reach let's say you have a channel where you are trying to help single parents navigate that whole thing, then in that particular case, then 4 single parents can be a part of your title. And then in that case, the people that are going to be clicking on, most of the people are going to be clicking on your videos are going to be that person that you're trying to reach, because you essentially let them know that it was for them in a title that was written to target them. And in your case, you could say, is Galbatar worth the visit for older vacationers or, something like that. You could do that. But I think that you might be, kind of like limiting the content if you do something like that in that case. But if you did want to experiment with something like that, that would be something that you could experiment with just to see if that would kind of help it. But I do think that over time, when it comes to connecting with people that are similar to you, just by you making the content, you putting yourself in the thumbnail, you being the person in the videos, you will, have people in that age group that will participate. But the awesome thing about the internet is that you'll also have people from all kinds of other, age groups participate as well. Let's see here. So next up, do you have any additional thoughts for that, D?
No, I think you covered that.
Okay. And next up here, we've got the Real Sync 4. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do reaction, podcast, and commentary content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. The question is, can I safely add music and movie type content for reactions? D.
Here's the thing. Technically, yes, you can. You can do it. That doesn't mean you're not going to get a copyright claim, or it doesn't mean you're not going to get a copyright strike. When you were doing a reaction video, if you do it right, if there's some sort of transformation that takes place, if the content is transformative, as they say, technically you can dispute the copyright claim that is almost guaranteed to come in, and you can say that it's fair use. Are you going to win that? I don't know. You may or may not win that. If you have copyright claims, that means that the claimant, the people who actually own the video, that own the music, they are going to get any monetization that you get on that video. So if you're not monetized now, it might not be a big deal, but once you become monetized and you're accounting on that money, they get the money. So you can do a reaction channel, you can do it, but you have to understand you are going to get a lot of copyright claims, possibly a couple of copyright strikes. If you get 3 copyright strikes within a, was it a 90-day period still?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 copyright strikes, which are rare, but they do happen within a 90-day period, they will terminate your channel. Most of them are going to come in for music and movies are going to be claims. They're going to take monetization. So yes, you can do it, but be prepared for endless copyright claims. If you want to see how problematic it can be, there's a YouTuber, his name is Rick Beato. Rick Beato is doing a fantastic job. All of his videos are fair use. He's interviewing famous musicians. He's essentially documenting music on YouTube and interviewing all the artists. He's breaking down songs. He's teaching music, and he's millions of subscribers. He has a second channel. I believe it might have over 1 million on that one too. He's made a couple of videos how he is being hit, sometimes 25 plus copyright claims in a single day.
Wow.
Per day. He's getting so many claims that he's had to hire a lawyer to dispute them. He's had to hire a lawyer full time to help him dispute them. Now, he's trying to monetize everything. He's trying to make a living doing this. If you're just trying to do this for fun, you're like, hey, I just want to have a good time and make videos and react to them and make people laugh and entertain people, and you don't care about your ad revenue, knock yourself out. What you could do, and I've seen a lot of music reaction channels do this, they're pretty much writing off the monetization that they're going to get from the ad revenue, and they're trying to find other ways that they can monetize their channel. be it through brand deals where they're partnering with brands, products that they sell, merchandise, etc. So I would think if you're trying to make money, I would think in terms of how else can I monetize this content, because I'm probably not going to be able to monetize it in terms of ad revenue. Long answer.
Yeah, very long answer, but I think it gave people, I think it gives, the information.
Yeah, you can do it. You can definitely do it. You just have to know what you're getting into and understand that most of them are going to end in a copyright claim. More so the music than the movies, but the movies will eventually get you to. You want to put yourself back on camera?
Yep.
All right. I need a foot pedal. I feel like I need the Elgato gas pedal or whatever they call that thing, so I can switch the camera. What do they call that?
Yeah, I've got one. I've got one in the I've got one in the thing over there. Yeah. It's just the foot pedal, I think. Yeah, Elgato foot pedal, I think is the technical name.
Gas pedal, the Elgato foot pedal. Yeah, great marketing on that one.
Yeah.
Way to go, Elgato.
Yeah. It might have some official name. I'm not. Yeah.
So I have to ask, why did you not use it? That's one of the things you got, and
so
you don't use it.
So I used it when I was doing the news.
Okay.
That's why I got it.
Okay.
So basically when I was doing the news, because I was using OBS and I had to switch through all the different scenes and stuff.
Okay.
So during that time, it just made everything smooth. So basically I would put it on the ground, and then like as I was doing the thing, I didn't have to, fumble around a lot, and I could just hit that, and then it would just switch to the next scene for whatever it was that I was talking about. It made it just kind of feel a little smooth and produced and whatnot.
Yep. Makes sense.
Next up on the list here, we got Rusty Mike and the boys. Rusty Mike uploads 1 time per week or more. The type of channel is showcasing vintage tool catalogs and tool history. That's cool. This is an offshoot of my Instagram called Rusty Mike 17, where part of what I do is about vintage tool catalogs. That's super cool. Goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I recently had one long form video that was a huge hit for me, currently 18,000 views. I thought this was my breakthrough, but the rest of my videos are not getting many views. What's happening? Please help. Thank you. I also wanted to mention here that this is a very new niche, and I believe that I'm probably the only channel out there that solely focuses on doing cool tool catalog flip through videos consistently. That's super cool.
Hold on.
Tool catalogs.
Tool catalogs, like a Sears catalog.
I think I'm going to look at the channel right now and see.
Yeah, I just want to say for the record, because that's
cool.
I don't live in a place that has catalogs. We don't do that here, so I think it's amazing that catalogs still exist.
Yeah,
in the first
me
place.
too. Well, these are vintage though.
Oh, so I was just going to say I didn't know that. I was going to say there's probably an element of nostalgia that comes with that. So that you nailed it. There it is.
Yeah, so I see the video that you have here. You say, for 100 years, this company was Snap-on's toughest competitor. And then you also have other titles here, and I'm just doing this at a glance here, so kind of bear with me. But you do have like Stanley Tool in there, to where you are mentioning tools that people would definitely be familiar with. Here you have why every woodworker dreamed of owning these tools in the 1930s. I think how you're packaging this stuff up is okay. But when it comes, and I love how you have the branded look going across everything. And you have, like a picture of the catalog and all that stuff. I think all of that is super cool. But one thing that you might want to do is, I mean, if you're the only person in this niche right now, then you might just want to experiment with, using YouTube's like A/B testing tool to see if putting, catalog or vintage or something like that on the thumbnails, to see if that would help draw in people that are, more interested in that. So it's just a little bit more clear from the outside that it's vintage. So for example, you have here, Beyond the Drills and Routers, Stanley's Forgotten Industrial Power Tools. So, it's cool. It kind of makes the suggestion that it might be older, but, it's not crystal clear. So since these are vintage, one thing that I would try to lean into from a testing perspective is adding vintage or, vintage catalog or something like that in a cool way. And I say in a cool way because you've got like a look going here, and I think that's really cool. So just trying to make sure it just kind of, fits into what it is that you're already doing without it taking up too much attention, but just adding it there as kind of like a supportive thing. So I would definitely give that a test from an experimental standpoint to see if that makes a difference. And then of course the video that did well, it's 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Most of your videos are relatively short. And on this particular one, some things that I would do, and it's kind of best practice in these situations, look at the actual video itself. What was I, how did I open the video up in terms of what was I saying or showing? Did I have music playing? Yes or no? How long did it take me to get into the actual content itself that they might have clicked in for? What did I say when it first started? In terms of, letting the person know that they were in the right spot, based on what it is that they clicked on and what they might expect, that kind of stuff. And just really analyze what you did in that video and see if there's anything in there that's different from what you're doing in some of the other ones. But I think some of this though is like, you have like, Snap-on's biggest rival. So with that, Snap-on, major, tool brand, but so is Stanley. So that was my default thing, is I was like, okay, this is one right here that actually calls out the company, but the one next to it has Stanley in there too. So you're doing that on some other ones too that didn't get that same traction.
What's the channel name?
It's called Rusty Mike.
Rusty Mike.
Yeah, the handle is Rusty Mike 17. Another thing too is, this is another one, kind of like I was talking about with the other channel that had a similar situation as yours. Also, just go and look and see where the views were coming from on this. See if you're getting like search traffic from this, see if it's homepage traffic, see if it's suggested video traffic, see if you're getting some type of external traffic for it. Because sometimes what can happen, and I'm not saying that this is what happened with yours because I don't have backend access, of course, but sometimes what can happen is, like a website can pick it up because they can, they'll be like, oh, this is pretty cool. They'll see it on YouTube, and then they'll, either embed it in their website or they'll link to it or something like that. And then you can get traffic, coming in from that way. Sometimes you can have Google search traffic that ends up sending people, into your videos, that kind of thing, definitely happens as well. So I would look to see, where the views are coming from on that, just to get an idea, right? Because for example, if the views are coming in from a website, then the thing about analyzing that video to see, how you started the video and, all those things, they're not going to be as critical in that case as if you saw the views were coming from the recommendation system, right? Because with the recommendation system, you're having to, get somebody into the video. Whereas if it's being recommended to somebody and they're coming in that way, and there's something else that's driving traffic to it, then in that case, the need to just capture them immediately based on them not expecting it, that need is a little bit higher. Let's see here. So next up on the list.
Yeah, it's an interesting niche.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's one of the cool things about YouTube is that it's just so much stuff on there in terms of like all these little sub things that people are into. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated coming across people who have old things.
Mm-hmm.
Old tools, old toys. Old whatever, anything vintage. There's such a weird thing that's happened, especially if you're like, I think Gen X maybe, and maybe the boomers looking back, because we don't live in that world anymore. Like there's an entire world that's just gone.
Yeah.
Everything's digital now, and everything's changed now. So anytime I come across stuff that just, I was like, oh man, like those were the days.
Right.
Right. Like it's just, there's the nostalgia that comes with that. And I think it's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I think, just thinking back, it's just a different world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brian, how we got here, genealogy says things like old play buttons, things like that. Because, because the play buttons are different now.
We don't, they are, they're different now. But we're not talking about that anymore. We've moved past that.
We have.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so what we're going to do here really quick, just so, just for you guys that are here, in case you didn't hear it at the beginning of the stream. So there was a Vid Summit ticket that was given away when Derral Eves was on, and the person wasn't able to make it. So because of that, we are going to give away a Vid Summit ticket right now for that person, because basically they're like, hey, not going to be able to make it. It'd be great if you would throw it back into the stream so that somebody else could take advantage of that opportunity. Now, just before we do send this out, and before I give you the word to put into the chat box, I do want to just give you a quick overview of what Vid Summit is. So when it comes to Vid Summit is a conference that serious creators go to every year. And with Vid Summit, basically it is where it's where you go. Oops, sorry, this is the wrong one. That was Vid Summit TV. That was the replays. Sorry, I hit the wrong button there with my autocomplete. Yeah, so Vid Summit, it happens in October 7th through the 9th in Dallas, Texas. And this is where content creators that are, serious about what it is that they're doing on YouTube, they go there to share their ideas, to share the wins that they've had, to, just brainstorm with each other and to learn from each other. This is the conference for content creators because this isn't a fan event like some of the other conferences for YouTubers. This is a place where people go to and we're all peers. So the scenario that you're going to run into here is you're not going to run into a scenario where people are asking you how many subscribers you have every time you turn or you have a conversation or anything like that. Like, nobody cares. What people care about is, what are you trying to do? Is there any way that I can help? Is there any information I can share with you? And in return, hey, is there any information you have for me? Like that kind of stuff. But like when it comes to Vid Summit, Mr. Beast goes to this, Mark Rober goes to this, like all the content creators that you watch, Ryan Trahan goes to this. And it is a place where, everybody goes, and, it's our way to, have our industry stuff where we can, share ideas, share what works. And this also is a great way to help us all just kind of stay up to date with like the state of YouTube and online video, and be introduced to things that we might not be thinking about because we all operate in our own bubbles. So a lot of friends are made at Vid Summit. A lot of relationships are made at Vid Summit in terms of collaborative things as well. But if you have not heard of it and you want to check it out for yourself, definitely go to vidsummit.com and check out the website. And they also have replays. So if you can't get there in person for some reason, then in that case, you can also access replays for this as well. And you'll be able to find those that information on the vidsummit.com website also. But what we're going to do now is we're gonna give away a Vid Summit ticket here.
Love it.
Yep. So what we're gonna do is, there is going to be a word that's going to show up on screen right now, and
lighted.
It is what?
The word is lighted.
Lighted. Yeah, that should be the word, but it's not.
It should be,
yeah. So the word is actually, just to make this super easy, is Vid Summit. So all you have to do is, if you are somebody that can make it to Dallas, Texas, and keep in mind, this is for the ticket for Vid Summit, you still have to cover your airfare and you have to cover your hotel. So if you can't make it there, then, then let the people participate who can. It doesn't look like it's, there we go. But if you are somebody that can make it, this experience has changed many lives. Yes. So while you are putting the Vid Summit word into the chat here to kind of put your name into the list for this. So there have been people that have gotten these tickets on this live stream. And like one channel, for example, her name is Natalie, Designed to the Nines. She was hanging out in this live stream, just like you guys are right now. And she had the opportunity. Derral was actually on for that stream, and he was giving away tickets. And she won. So she got one of the Vid Summit tickets. So she went to Vid Summit. She ended up going all in on YouTube. Now she has a gigantic YouTube channel. She has her own tool brand. She's been a full-time content creator now for many years, from that experience. But it basically gave her, the information that she needed, and the motivation that she needed, and the inspiration that she needed, and the connection she needed to get the most out of YouTube. So there's many stories like that, but that's one that I like to kind of go to just because it's such a great story.
I remember
she's just awesome. So
I remember Natalie well. I remember her winning.
Yeah.
I remember her winning. And I remember her going to the event, and I would sit next to her during a handful of the presentations. And I was just watching her take notes the whole time. She was just taking notes. And she's like, oh, this is so amazing. Taking notes. Yep. And now she's just
crushing.
Yeah, she has her own, she has like a major product too, right?
Oh yeah. She sells like drills and tools for women.
Yeah.
They're super cool.
Yeah.
Roberto Blake in the house.
Roberto, the omnipresent.
The Roberto Blake says, "I'm glad you found these play button." Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Can you imagine, Roberto?
Right?
Can you imagine?
Okay, so we got 33 entries here. So we are going to pick a winner. And how this is going to work is, once I hit the button here, then what's going to happen is this is going to randomly pick someone that did put in the Vid Summit word into the chat there. And then how this works is Chantel is going to reach out to you via the About Me email on your YouTube channel. And I also want you to send me a DM on X. And then that way, we have two ways that we're trying to get in touch with you. And then we can get, your email address and your name. And then we can take it from there in terms of passing it on to Vid Summit staff to make sure that we get you all sorted. So here we go. Let me get the drum roll here.
Let's get this thing spinning.
Do you have the drum roll?
Artemo Plus
Love it. Congratulations.
Yep. Artemo Plus, you are the winner, the Vid Summit ticket winner. So again, just make sure that you send me a message on X. Send me a DM. If you can't send me a DM there, then just at me and say, hey, I won the ticket. And then I'll follow you so that you can send it to me that way, but you should be able to just send it through anyway. So congratulations to you, Artemo Plus. You are in. You are in.
Bunkers,
so
they said. Bunkers.
Yep, bonkers. So yeah, you still have to, get your hotel, and you have to get there. So I don't know if you're driving or flying or walking or whatever. But you do that, and then the ticket is completely covered. So looking forward to seeing you. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Yep. Awesome.
Let's see here. So next up on the list here, super cool.
We have a win in the chat here. STEM Pathway Kenya says, I'm a science teacher and I got monetized today. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations to you for that.
Way to go.
Love it. Love those wins. Absolutely love it.
Oh, Artemo's driving from Houston, so they're local.
Oh, you're local. Oh, that's perfect.
Yep. There you go.
Absolutely perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to go all the way from Thailand. I think it's funny when people are like, oh, I live, like in Ohio,
right?
And it's too far for me. I'm like, what?
What? Yeah.
What?
What? Yeah.
Are you kidding? I'm coming from literally the other side of the planet to go to this. What do you mean? It's Ohio's too far.
3.5 hour flight for you,
right?
It takes me 3.5 hours just to get to like the first leg of the trip.
Right.
3.5 hours just to get to Taiwan.
Okay, let's see here. It is crazy. I think.
And let me tell you, if you've never been on an airplane for 12 hours straight, you haven't lived.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely an adventure.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely an adventure.
Yeah.
Being on planes for that long, for sure. All right. So the next question that we have here
hold on. Catherine Jung says, I have kids.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not the only mother.
There's plenty of mothers there.
Yeah.
Plenty of moms hanging out.
Plenty of moms hanging out. Take your kid.
Yeah.
You know what? Vid Summit, Derral, you guys need to have like a daycare for Vid Summit.
Oh, nice.
Like a little romper.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. Right. Like a little romper room area. They take care of the kids while the parents go into the events. That's great. I volunteer.
It's good.
For tribute.
It's good. So next up, we've got Farmer Marshall Urban Gardener. Fire Marshall Urban Gardener. They upload 1 time per week or more. They do gardening and homesteading content. The question is, recently I started adding quail to the subjects that I cover. My views were pretty consistent before I added a long form quail video.
The bird.
Since then it's been off some, not as many long form videos with over 500 views or shorts with over 1,000 views. I'm trying to decide if I should gradually add more quail shorts, but only mention quail during parts of my regular long form videos until the subject takes traction. Could this hurt my channel? So when it comes to adding things to your channel, first I have to look at what it is that you're doing just so I can have some context here. Started adding quail.
Yeah, I need context on that.
Yeah, so when you are publishing videos, I don't see any of this from the outside. Let me look on your shorts tab real quick and see what we've got going on here. Okay, I see the quail. Yeah, so if you are doing gardening, if the quails are not, part of that, in terms of, unless you're using them for gardening in some way, then, maybe they might not be the best fit. Like if people are responding to it, then cool. But if not, then you might be dividing, things up a little bit there. Since you do have gardening tips and tricks, if the quail don't have anything to do with gardening tips and tricks, then in that case, I would just lean more on gardening stuff. Because the whole thing when it comes to YouTube, in terms of, things that are really important to keep in mind is that when you are publishing videos, you just want to try to make sure that every video that you publish is a good fit for that target viewer that you have for your channel. Because like in this case where you have the quail videos in your shorts, if somebody's sitting there swiping, right, they come in, they go to your shorts feed and they're like, oh, hey, great gardening video, great gardening video, great gardening video. And then you have like a quail video. In that case, they might enjoy it, but they might be like, okay, I'm here for the gardening stuff, so I'm just going to pass that. So if the quail stuff does have something, even in a roundabout way, to do with gardening, and if people are responding to it, which these shorts didn't do as well as your recent gardening videos, then in that particular case, if they're not responding as well, then I would leave them out. But I don't personally know if those are related to gardening in some way, in terms of if you use the eggs for something or if they help keep insects. Like, I have no idea. I don't know anything about quail. So because of that, if people are responding, to it, then it's a good fit. If you think that content is a good fit for your viewer, this type of thing is why it's so important to make sure that you are getting as clear as you possibly can on who it is that you're making content for, because it makes decisions like this easier. And that's for all of us, right? Like, everybody has to, they don't have to, but if you are wanting to get the best results out of your channel, as fast as possible, then in that case, just making sure that everything is dialed in for a particular type of viewer that's interested in very specific things. That's that's the faster path for that sort of thing. Next up on the list here, we've got Artimo Silva. Nice. Let's see. I think this might be the same channel that just got, I think it is. So they do educational content. They've been making videos for less than 1 month. Great start, by the way, in terms of winning a Vid Summit ticket. Your mind's going to be blown. But let's see here. So the question is, I have a channel that has been inactive for 3 years. I wanted to change niches, so I created a new one. Already posted 2 videos yesterday. Should I expect no views in the first 10 to 15 videos? Should I focus on how-to videos first to get traffic? Will shorts from the content help? Okay. So there's a lot of questions here. So when it comes to starting the new channel instead of doing the channel that's been inactive for 3 years, I personally think that's a good move. And the reason I think that is because right now YouTube is giving new channels some extra impressions on home pages and things like that. So they're testing the content more against people. So it's a big opportunity to, put a video out. And if people are responding well to it, then, a video on a new channel can get legs right now, which is great. But at the end of the day, when it comes to having to make 10 to 15 videos in order for videos to start doing well, it doesn't necessarily work that way. So on YouTube, people can publish one video and that video can do well if everything is packaged right, if people, respond to the content at a level that's competitive for, the groups of people that YouTube is showing that content to, that sort of thing, then, even a new video can do well. But if they're not doing well yet, it is possible that, maybe YouTube is still trying to, line everything up with those perfect viewers for you. But I would look and I would see, okay, is YouTube testing my content against people? And you see this by looking at your impressions. Your impressions are when YouTube shows your content to somebody on the platform. And then from there, okay, how many impressions am I getting? Out of those impressions that I'm getting, is anybody clicking on this at all? If they are, then in that case, I wouldn't get too caught up. If you only got, a few views, I wouldn't get too caught up in the retention right now. But I would just go in and say, okay, with this content, is there anything that I'm doing in this video that might be distracting people from, what they might expect from this as they get into the video content itself? And, just make sure that you are making everything as good as you possibly can for those viewers. But I wouldn't necessarily think of it through the lens of you have to make, 10 to 15 videos first. I would actually say, make sure that every video that you're making is a good fit for the people that you are trying to reach. Like right here, I see you have 2 videos on the channel. So in that case, just make sure that you are, serving, those people with good content, and keep publishing. And as long as every video that you're putting out, you are intentionally trying to make the videos better, trying to, do something better with the process, trying to connect better with the people that are, that are the target for that video. Then in that case, once you do have a video that does substantially well, there's a really good chance that it's going to feed some of these other videos, as long as people do respond well to them. In terms of how-to content also, because that was another part of your question, with the type of content that you are making specifically, which it looks like this is in another language, but I see like YouTube logos and dollar signs and stuff like that. So because of that, how-to content can be a really good kind of way in for YouTube, getting a clear understanding on who the people are that you're making this for, because they're actively searching for the topics that you are putting in. So because of that, a search strategy might be something. Making some how-to videos might be the approach there, because then you might be able to pull in some Google traffic in your language. You might be able to pull in some YouTube search traffic in your language. But also how-to videos are good for, like if you're teaching people something and it's clear from the outside, then you have like a clear and obvious value from the outside. And the people that need that, if YouTube shows those people that video, for the people that need that, then, you know, they're likely to, you know, respond well to that, as long as it's packaged right, which again, I can't read the text that you have on here, but just with the logos and the imagery and how you're kind of focusing things and all that, I think the actual, you know, packaging on these is fine.
Chantel is trying to send you something in a DM. I think
okay. Thank you for the heads up. Logging in now.
Yep.
I knew there was something I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
so they're just getting started with 2 videos.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah. Welcome to YouTube.
I love it. I love seeing people just coming onto the platform and getting started. I absolutely love that.
It's like raw potential.
It is. It's raw potential. You know, and I understand. Look, it can be frustrating. It can be overwhelming, but understand that your favorite creators, doesn't matter how big they are, they could have tens of millions of subscribers. It doesn't matter. They all started in the exact same place you're at right now. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in perspective as you're getting frustrated. Why isn't this working for me? Because you have to learn how to do the thing. And it's a process, just like learning anything else. But we've all been there. Everybody's been there. The biggest creators on the platform have been there. Yeah. You got this.
You got this.
You got this.
That's the message.
That's right.
So next up on the list here, we've got Morale Gaming. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I apologize if not. They upload when they have time, but on YouTube for a year or more. They do gaming, Roblox, formerly Fortnite, until August of this year. And the question is, what are the best types of videos / shorts to make when branching into a new niche? For example, Fortnite to Roblox. So one idea is to go and look at all of the other Roblox channels. Everything you can find, and I know there are a ton of them, but basically going and looking at all of the Roblox channels and sorting those by popular, and then looking at videos that have popped off recently. So basically going through all of their popular list, and technically you can do this from the video watch page because you see them, you know, in order there in terms of when somebody published. But if you sort by popular, if they do have anything recent there, then log it in a spreadsheet or write it down or however you're keeping track of it. And then the same exact thing goes for any other Roblox channels that you can find, going and looking at those channels and seeing what things that they've talked about in the over the last 28 days, and see, okay, is there anything that's kind of been a consistent thing that's popped off here? If it's something that might have been related to timing, like let's say a new thing came out about Roblox and then people made videos about it and it popped off because of that, then in that case, looking and saying, okay, is this something that people are still interested in this? If so, then you could make a video on it. Or if it was just something that was trending at the time and that's passed, then you would move on and you would look for other videos that they might have made that that topically, that you look for those similarities between channels, and then you can hop in with something like that. In addition to that, just having a really good understanding of people that are, since you made the transition into Roblox, and you mentioned here you have 75,000 subscribers. So, if you understood the Fortnite community enough to get 75,000 subscribers and you switched over to Roblox, try to get that same understanding for them. And if you can get that same understanding from them, then you'll be fine in terms of either making content that you see doing well on other channels, or being like, hey, this is what the community needs right now. I'm going to make that video instead of just making videos, like other people have made. So that's another approach if you have a really good understanding of the people that are into the Roblox content.
So I have a message for Simply New England. I sent a message, but I'm sending a second one here. And the message is, where'd it go? It says, what do you do when you run out of something to say on a live stream? I'm a longtime YouTuber, but brand new to live streaming. I feel like I have nothing to say after a little bit of time. A lot of people have that same feeling. Yeah. Some people worry about running out of things to say. A lot of people say, I don't know what I'm going to say. They're afraid to get started. They're afraid of looking stupid, sounding stupid on camera. That's just something you'll have to go through. What I recommend is, for everyone, if you're not sure how to stay on task, either use your phone, your iPad, your computer, or an old school pen and paper. I use a Sharpie and a piece of paper, Post-it notes. Just write down bullet points. Like, these are things that I want to talk about during this live stream. And if your brain turns off in the middle of the live stream, which can happen, it happens to us all the time. You can be right in the middle of saying something and your brain just turns off. You can reference those bullet points to keep you on track. And when you're finished, you're finished. If your chat is not active and there are no questions in your chat and there's nothing to actually keep the stream going at that point, close it down. wrap it up and close it down. You don't have to go live for a specific period of time. You can go live for 15 minutes. You can go live for 10 minutes. You can go live for an hour. You can go live for 6 hours. There are no rules to this. Go live for as long as you need to go live, no matter how long or short that is.
Some of my best performing live streams were like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
When I was on the news, right?
Yeah. I think something that a lot of people, if you're new to live streaming, it's easy to see some of your favorite creators or people in your niche or their people that you watch, they go live for an extended period of time because they have a lot of experience doing it.
Yeah.
You know, they understand how to keep the conversation flowing. But until you get to that point, just go live for as long as you need to go live. It's okay.
It is.
It's completely okay. And your audience understands that it's live. People don't expect as much of you. I mean, you still have to bring it, right? You still have to give some sort of value to the people who are showing up in your live stream. But if you make mistakes, if you have a brain fart, it turns off in the middle of the conversation, just laugh and move forward. Yeah. It's acceptable during a live stream. You're not a news anchor delivering your news where everything needs to be. But even then, they're reading the teleprompter. Yeah. So yeah, it's okay. Just make bullet points and go live.
And Creator Classroom says that we do miss the news. Yeah, the thing with the news is they're just not putting out a lot of like new features. Like they're doing a lot of little things like like the gift updates that we talked about today, that kind of stuff. Like if they started rolling out a lot of new stuff, like what was happening during that time, then in that case, I would probably ramp it back up again. Just because I enjoyed doing the news. Like it was super easy for me because I keep up on this stuff anyway. So it was great because then, over the course of the week, as I was finding stuff, and then, if I either had something come up in like an RSS feed, or if, Creator Insiders made, video or something like that, or if somebody said something on Twitter, in that case, I would just kind of collect that stuff and then I could just talk about it on Friday, which is great. So it's just super easy for me to make that content. And it's fun. Set up a green screen, kind of present something different. It was fun.
It was good. And I think it was a great idea because people don't look, I'm subscribed to them as well. Creator Insiders. Yeah. I never see their videos. I ask you, do we have any news? Because unless I go actively search for their videos, I don't see them ever. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people are in that same boat. So we're counting on you. Don't let us down, man. Yeah. So Roberto says that September, there is some new stuff being announced on September 16th. And he says that September will be done if the hugest announcements YouTube has ever made. Hold on. This September, I guess. I mean, wait, this month. That's this month. I hope we don't have to wait until next September. It just dawned with that kind of buildup. I hope that we don't have to wait until next September for this. Am I the only one who just realized it was September and this year's almost gone? Wow. Wow. That just kind of like hit me. I mean, I knew it was September. Welcome to the end of the year. Yeah. But like the year's almost finished. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. So the biggest announcement ever. That's a bold statement, Roberto. No, it is. But I trust you have your ears to the proper ground. To the pavement. To the pavement. Ground. To the YouTube parking lot pavement. So next up on the list, we got Cliffhanger DK. They have been making videos for 1 year or more. They do gaming commentary content. The question is, I have a toddler, a full-time job, a partner, etc. In this season of life, even one video a month feels like a stretch. Should I lower my standards and post more videos, or stick with quality I'm pleased with and upload less frequently for now? To do gaming commentary, I also have to actually play games, meaning that it's also time in production itself. So this is one where, what's more important, right? Like the family's more important. The kids are more important. Like these are, important years. Like I don't have kids, but like when it comes to toddlers, like, I hear other people say that, when those times go by really fast. So, because of that, I would definitely, consider just kind of prioritizing that stuff. And then when it comes to YouTube, the issue with, I'm just going to make videos just to get them up. The problem with that is that when people do that, a lot of times the content, might not be up to par with what they could make if they just spent more time on it. So there's some channels that do fine where they put that extra energy into the videos themselves and they publish less, and they do great because the creator, puts that time into the videos to make them excellent. So if you can do that, then in that case, I think uploading less would be the win there. So that you're not just publishing for the sake of publishing, but you're publishing saying, hey, this is something really cool that I know my community is going to love. And then you publish those videos. So Beanie Draws, in response to Roberto Blake's hugest announcement, He said, YouTube is finally going to allow us to tag other creators in a mobile live stream.
I know, right? That'll be the thing for the
That'll
September,
be,
right?
yeah, that's it. The biggest announcement YouTube has ever had.
Yep. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to, we have a very special guest coming into the live stream. Yeah, I put headphones over there just in case you need them. But we have a special guest coming into the live stream today. This is Derral Eves. He is the founder of Vid Summit. He is also, he's got more play buttons than probably pretty much anybody on YouTube. You'll see him right here in a second. Yeah, right. More play buttons than the manufacturer, right? But when it comes to YouTube, like, he knows his stuff. He's also the author of this book right here called The YouTube Formula, that teaches you the important stuff that you need to know about YouTube. You can find this on Amazon, and he's also involved in tons of other additional amazing things. But ladies and gentlemen, Derral Eves. What's going on, Derral?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm going to have to unmute my...
Can you hear me okay?
And it looks like...
Yay, nay?
I do not hear audio. Let me see if you guys can hear him. Can you guys hear his audio?
I can hear myself. That's a really important thing.
Okay, you can. So this is a tech problem. Man, Derral, we had, as I'm getting this sorted, man, we've had some, like, today has been like the day in tech stuff. So what I'm going to do, since they can hear you, Derral, take it away. Tell us about yourself. Tell us tell us, one, why you love YouTube, and tell us, two, why you started Vid Summit.
Yeah, for sure. So first off, before I do, I was waiting like all of you for this live stream, because I'm like, hey, he finally found the play button. I was really excited about that. And then when it didn't come on, I'm like, okay, he must have lost the play button again. Like, I literally thought that something went on with that play button. That's why it was delayed. But I'm grateful that they're up, because Saturday wouldn't be Saturday without the Niman brothers, and also the Niminati. I love you guys here. For me, I've been on YouTube since 2005. I've been able to generate well over 100 billion video views on YouTube. I love YouTube because of the opportunity. I think the barrier of entry is really easy, especially if you have a phone, and especially nowadays with a lot of the tools that are coming up. But for me, one of the passion is longevity. I want to see creators not only succeed but thrive on the platform, and so that's kind of my heart. It's just always has been. And I saw a lot of my friends come and got a lot of success on YouTube, and then they would go because they weren't doing business principles. They weren't thinking bigger around this. They were just thinking, oh, if I get views, that equates to money. Money can keep me making videos, instead of really treating themselves like a business. So I was out and about throughout the world doing case studies, going to conferences and stuff, and I realized that there wasn't a conference out there that was addressing these issues in the creator economy. In fact, that word wasn't even used until Vid Summit. And so for me, it was, hey, let's start something where we can learn and grow together around the business side of YouTube. And that's how Vid Summit all started. So really grateful for all of you that come on and learn. And one of the things that I found, in this day and age, and especially in the type of content creation that we're creating here on social media, I was saying this to my students the other day. If you really want to succeed, it's around two things. It's around consistency and persistency. You got to be persistent. So if you want to be persistent, you have a higher probability of achieving, but you got to be consistent. And I don't mean just consistently uploading, but consistently trying to improve your content. And so I've worked with so many thousands and thousands of creators, and I found that those that are on the quest to make the best video possible, they understand who they're making the video for. Also, when it comes to the video content per se, they're really looking at what is that value proposition? What is that shareable moment that the viewer is going to experience? And so they're not just thinking of the title, thumbnail, click, but they're looking at the value of the video and that shareable moment. So did you find your ears? I can't hear you now. Can anybody hear him now?
There we go. So you had to get some headphones and had to you had to basically change the audio settings coming out of here as well. So yeah, all good. Derral, what's going on? Thanks for the introduction on there and holding everything down.
Yeah, I got to tell you this. This is really important. So I started a live stream, getting ready to jump on it was like 7:15 my time. I'm all in my hot tub, ready to just kind of enjoy the banter between the brothers. And there was like nothing happening. I'm like, what's going on here? I didn't know what was happening because I was really excited because you found the play button. I was coming on for the support of that. And I'm like, oh no, Nick lost the play button again, and that's why they haven't started yet. And that's the whole reason why he is not starting the video. So like for me, wow, I'll be honest with you, I was a little nervous. I thought that you're on the bad list again, but it sounds like it was just tech issues. So
yeah, it was just tech issues. So yeah, man, that was a pretty incredible thing. Like we thought it was gone. We thought it was gone forever. But yeah, it ended up being, I have this like box when I moved where I put like sentimental stuff in there, and I had just never gotten around to like taking it out.
Sentimental stuff like a play button?
Like a play button, right? It was like that important stuff to where, hey, if I happen to lose everything else, when we're moving, then, this is the important stuff. It was in that box. Mm-hmm. But I looked in that box previously, and it just didn't see it because it was all the way down in the bottom, covered by other sentimental stuff. And yeah. So super excited. Like when it first popped up, I sent him a bunch of messages and was like, oh my God, dude, I found it, sent photos. And then I was like, oh wait, I'm not going to tell him yet. So I deleted them all. And then we went to have coffee. And I went out to the car while we were having coffee. I was like, hey, I'll be right back. And then I just brought it in. I was like, oh, hey, found this.
That's so thick. Now, was it the bigger play button or is it the little mini me play button?
The bigger one.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
so box, the box they shipped it in. What was it? What did it say? July 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Gosh, it's been
July 2020.
How many years?
Yeah,
yeah,
2020
so it's been in that box for that long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and the letter from Susan.
Yep.
Oh, bless her heart, Susan.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been an eventful day for you guys. Like what time is it now? They're like 1 o'clock, 1:13 or something like that.
Yeah, right now it's 11:13.
Okay, you're not bad. You're not bad.
Yeah, so normally we stop the stream at 11 local time while the time zones work out like they currently do, and then once it switches over there, we'll stop at midnight. But because we came in late, we're gonna keep on rolling here for just a little bit.
Yeah. No, this
live happens.
Yep, live happens. That's
live
right.
happens. That's right.
Yeah, no. This is what I love. It's like, business and life, like it can hit you at certain times. And I was just telling them while you're trying to fix your headphones, it's like to really succeed on the platform and realistically anything in life, you got to be consistent and persistent. And that persistency is the key. It's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be willing to make it happen. And then too, being consistent in the sense of, you know what, I'm going to make a better video and I'm going to make sure that each video is better than I made prior. And if they're really looking at the value there, they have a higher probability to succeed. And so I was just kind of giving that, but realistically, I mean, that is your story, Nick. I mean, when you really break it down, when you came on, all those years ago, it's like you knew that you wanted to do something on YouTube, tried a few things out, and luckily you found your lane that you can bless the world in so many different ways. And, you've just been extremely consistent, which is great.
Yeah. The live stream has been kind of my staple, consistent thing. And I think it's because like, I feel like when it comes to the live streams, because I can answer nuanced questions and things like that.
Right.
I feel that this is, one of the places where I give the most value. Because like when it comes to the video content, you're having to keep in mind retention and things like that. And, sometimes you have to make content choices just based on things you need to do for the channel, as well as, the audience. But when it comes to this, just being able to be like, oh, hey, this is the question that you're having trouble finding the answer to that relates directly to you and this problem that you're trying to solve. So let's see if we can, kind of navigate through that in some kind of way.
Yeah, no, it's good. And you've been great for the community, great for YouTube, great for the world for that. And I'm glad you found that play button.
Thank you.
Me too. Your gold play button, he was just going to take it and like put it in. memory keepsakes, right? So
I was going to take it.
Yeah.
And if you would have ordered another one, I would have taken that too.
Exactly.
But listen, I can tell you this. I can say that I got used to the idea of not having it. And I was like, it's gone. It's gone. I'm not going to get another one. It's okay. I missed the original. I'm good. I don't want to order a new one. I don't like the new ones. So when he pulled that out in front of me, it almost made me emotional.
Yeah.
It made me emotional because it brought back that, because I forgot about it, right? It's in the past, and I don't dwell on those things other than just to give him a hard time about it. But it brought back that initial feeling of like, I hit that achievement.
Yeah.
And I know subscribers these days are primarily vanity numbers, but it still feels good. It still felt good.
It was your first though too. I remember what it felt like, getting your first subscriber, getting your first 100 subscribers, getting your first 1,000 subscribers, getting your first 100,000 subscribers, like that was a big deal. When it comes to 1 million, like it's the same thing. I just like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And for me, I think the letter that was in it, especially from Susan, of explaining how big, that the impact really is, like what the number really means, what it represents is awesome. So don't get me wrong. I do value subscribers. I just like to classify them as just active viewers, like people that actually want to see my content, but yeah, getting that that moment is like, especially the first time, is just like amazing. For me now, I can honestly say I never really put my gold play buttons up. They'd actually stack on the floor. And I was having a conversation with Mr. Beast, we were just talking about stuff. He's like, dude, why don't you ever hang your stuff up? I'm like, I really don't care about it. I really don't. And he's like, you're dumb. Just put it up. It's like validation. You did it. You're doing all this other stuff. Like, why wouldn't you do this? Like, that's dumb. So anyway, for me, that was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. But for me, it's not like I find more value actually in the creation of the content and then the impact of the content. In fact, like we're literally starting a brand new YouTube channel, as we speak. And I was like with my partner last night till wee hours of the night, going through an edit and really hitting it hard. Cause like we're really going after TV. It's like a transitional, type of content. It's just different than what he's ever made before. And we were going through this, and we've been planning this for quite some time, a couple of years, and so we're going through the whole edit. And what I love is the excitement that he has. He's like really, really excited, and he's already made thousands of videos. It's like here he is, new journey, new creation. But for me, I value that time and really getting it right, where we can tell a great story. You can bring in, you can entertain, someone, you can educate them, you can inspire them, or all three, in that video. But for me, I love just to see the twinkle in the eyes of, oh my gosh, this is going to be so good, and I have this test that I do. Like I am so picky when it comes to content. You have no idea how picky I am. Like I'm like down to little details. I mean, realistically, that I was watching the video that was edited the first time. It was like the third time or whatever, and I had 148 comments in the first 17 minutes. And I says, I'm not watching the rest of the content. It was like 50-minute plus or whatever. So I'm not watching the rest because you got to fix this. You have to fix this. But it was really.
Let me ask you something, Derral. So in a situation like that, where you have the, the 100 and something notes in the 17 minutes, I don't know if you can recall everything, of course, but when you are going through that particular process, can you share with everybody, the types of things that you're noticing?
For sure.
Like that, we're looking at videos.
For me, people usually watch videos to watch videos. Like, oh, it is a great video, whatever. Or I really like this part. That's what they normally say. I like to really figure out, okay, where is the viewer at in their journey of the video? And then two, if there's anything that pulls me away from the intentionality of the video, I'm like, okay, we're gonna cut that out, or we need to add something in. And so a lot like I would say the hook was really good for this one particular video. The only thing that I thought it just drug on a little longer after the hook, and so we just cut that out. I says, we don't need nothing. Like, just let's get this really tight right here. And then let's set it up. Let's set up the video itself. And then for me, it's just more about pacing and realizing, is everything needed, or is there certain things that could enhance it? So like one of the first things is like, dude, you're going to have to do some VO because this is not happening for me. And so luckily, he was able to record some VO and stuff like that. But
by VO, just to be clear for everybody, you mean voiceover, right?
Yeah, voiceover. So we just had some voiceover that would kind of weave stories together, what was visually happening or what was physically happening in the video itself. But for me, it was just like jokes, callbacks, things that I knew, that the viewer, because we've done so much research on the viewer, of knowing what kind of makes them tick, what they would actually look for, how to lean into something, and then it's just cut the fat, And generally, I don't necessarily cut the fat in the beginning. I like to have a really good assemble, and then just realize, is it taking me away from the storyline? Okay, cut that out if it's not. Or if it is, sorry. Cut it out, because I need it to weave in. Yeah, maybe it pulls you out for 10 seconds. That's okay. But what pulls you back in? And so for me, those 120 comments, I know the editor didn't really like it, but that's his job. I mean, I literally told him, I'm like, dude, like, I only edit. Like I only put notes in the first 5 or 6 videos until we really start taking off, and then I'll scale back. But we got to have what we would see as, here's the content. And I'll tell you what, Nick, I had a really good conversation with my partner on this too, and it's something I'm going to talk more about at Vid Summit. Vid Summit's coming up October 7th through the 9th in Dallas, Texas. If you don't know about Vid Summit, yeah, man, we're our 12th year. It's amazing. We have over 72 speakers this year, which is nuts. And it's going to be off the chain, which is awesome. And so really, really excited about that. Nick's speaking, and has a really great presentation too, but I have a presentation coming up on this, Nick. And it's more about understanding what are the components that makes a good video. And a lot of people are like, oh, let's do the storytelling and so on and so forth. I don't disagree with that. But first off, if you're making YouTube videos and you're not watching other successful YouTubers, and asking, why did they do this? Why did they do that? Then I think you're missing out. And so I was having a conversation with my partner, and he watches like a lot of YouTube. Like, I'm not worried about him. And I says, hey, we're missing a very valuable thing. And he goes, what's that? I says, the mechanism. And most people don't know what a mechanism is. This is something I really go in depth with my students. But it's like, when you're putting out a video, we need to know what the video is and why you're doing the video. And then what's the mechanism that takes you through the story? Like what's the thing that keeps you going to the end? And that's where retention comes in. And every time that we have those that are just firing on all cylinders, we can have 80, 90% retention on a lot of views too. It's like, it's not unheard of. And you just got to make sure that there's enough interest, but the mechanism just really, really hits really well. And so for those that don't know what a mechanism is, it could be like your tiered list. That's a mechanism because you have just the different, from S tier down. That's just a mechanism. It could be your, 5 things you're going to learn, here on YouTube. That's a mechanism because there's like 5 things from there. But when it comes to other type of storytelling, people they don't want to be pulled out and say, oh, here's the mechanism, this is what we're doing here. But they just want it to lose themselves. And so I was going to tell you, when I was going through the edit last night, well, I guess this morning after the editor fixed all those changes, I lost myself. I didn't know where 15 minutes went. Like, it was that good. Like just the first 17 minutes, but I just it pulled me in. I've already seen it a couple times, but I was actually enjoying the story because of all the elements that we talked about. And so we were able to find a mechanism to put in play. And then two, it could have been amplified a little bit if he would have been a little bit more intentional when he was actually shooting the video too. So like for me, that's kind of the key. More than anything else is when you're creating content, think about who you're making it for, find out what value that they're going to get out of it, and then package it in a way where there's enough curiosity to try to lean in on the content. And then once they're in, like we gotta hook them, and we gotta set up a story, and then the mechanism to take them through the story until they get to that moment where it's that shareable moment where they're like, oh my gosh, this is so great. This is what I always, this is so amazing. And they're thinking of 3 or 4 other people that they want to share that with.
Yeah, that's awesome. So because you are talking about storytelling, this is actually perfectly in alignment with what you're talking about right now. Scale Train Station has a question here, and they mention, can you explain episodic content versus weaving a C story through videos?
Scale Train, come on now. No, I love the C storyline through videos. So episodic, you can go look at Deep Pocket Monster. Pat Flynn has a channel doing Pokemon, and he's on a quest, and it's not a one video quest. It's a quest to do certain things, right? And it might take 5 videos, 6 videos in that series to achieve that quest. So it's an overarching, what they're doing. So that quest is the what they're doing, and also why they're doing it. So it kind of pulls that in. And then 2, if you ever want to see mechanisms, like he's one of the most brilliant creators that use mechanisms throughout the whole video. And you can see kind of his mechanisms to pull the viewer through it. So that is your series storyline. Now you're weaving your C storyline. So if you guys are not familiar with ABC storylines, there's a lot of great resources out there for it. I teach it maybe a little bit differently than those that would do like for movies or for books, because we're talking sometimes hundreds, if not thousands, of videos that creators make. And the C storyline generally is something that engages the hardcore viewer, the person that's just not going to miss a video. They love everything that you do. They might watch it 2 or 3 different times. They're going to engage with it. And it really, really resonates with them, where they're calling it out at times in a video. So the C storyline is more about you as a creator. Like it could be your history. Like, I'll give you a C storyline that works on this channel quite a bit, is when D got lost in Mexico and had to stay there for a while. That's a very big C storyline that people have referred to. Those that know that it was a COVID issue, and he got locked down and got locked out, and had all these issues trying to get out of Mexico. And that right there weaves in all the content. So people are like, well, what happened here? And they're kind of leaning that into it. But that is that C storyline that doesn't need to be episodic, but it's more around, hey, this is what happened. It's more the history. It's more relevant to some videos, more relevant to a lot of videos than anything else.
Yeah, Doug mentions that's a D storyline.
Yeah. Why did that come from Doug of all people? Because that's what he does, right?
Well, we've been able to weave that in and out over all these years. Like, that's an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Especially with the play button too. That's another issue. So, and it will be talked about for I won't say millennia, but a few years, right?
For at least a few more days, right? Since you got it back now.
Always remember that time. It's gonna always come back to that, right?
Yeah. Well, Daniel Vitale and I are going to do a live stream unboxing our play buttons together.
Yeah, Derral, you might not know this. So basically, D and Daniel have this deal that Daniel wasn't going to open his play button until D got his.
Why is Daniel one of the coolest people of all time?
Yeah, so D was trapped in Mexico, and Daniel got his while D was also trapped down there. And same time. And the whole thing was once D comes back here and he has his play button in his hands, they're going to open them together. But I blew that, obviously.
Yeah,
so Daniel talked about this in terms of being a buddy. Daniel's held onto his play button and kept it in the box this entire time. So before I told D about the play button, I sent Daniel a message. I'm like, dude, you're not going to believe this. Yeah, and he's like, oh my God, I can finally open my play button.
I'll honestly say this in front of everyone. There's not too many people better than Daniel. Like, Daniel is a stand-up, just amazing person. And it's just great. Like just his morals and values of friendship. Like, friendship's really important with him. That is the ultimate sign of friendship. Like, tell me another YouTuber that would do that. Come on now. They wouldn't do that.
Right.
They'd celebrate with their audience, but that's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah. I concur.
So I think so too. Yeah, Daniel's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So since we are talking about story here, and because of your deep expertise in this, just in terms of you being passionate about it, and you working on The Chosen, and with all the creators that you work with and everything. So when it comes to content creators getting an understanding in terms of the basics of how they can apply concepts of storytelling to what it is that they're creating, what types of advice do you have for people that are, making content and they're like, hey, I'm not sure if I'm even including any of this stuff into my videos, and if not, how can I intentionally take an approach to where I can, weave some of this into what it is that I'm doing?
Yeah, I further want to clarify something. Some of you might say, hey, my content doesn't need a story. We're just giving information. And I'm saying, okay, then just don't worry about people remembering who you are, or even wanting to go deeper with you. I mean, they got the value that you want to give them, and that's fine. But for us, I think for everyone else, including information type of people, is giving informational type of content. Storytelling has been around since, the first people on Earth. I mean, it's like, literally, what did you do today? And they tell these great stories about the hunt or gathering or whatever that may be, and
on walls.
Yeah, exactly. Like, literally
stories on walls. Yeah.
Exactly. And my whole thing is, like, we love, as humans, we love to know the stories, right? We love to hear the stories. And those that are great orators and great storytellers, they know how to take people on an emotional journey, or on a journey where they're like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Others, they just kind of go on forever. And you're like, what? Stop, like, please. And they want to bang their head against the wall. So it is an art form too. It's not something that you have just immediately for the average person. I think the average person can learn it, but some are given that gift and others are not. And those that are not doesn't mean you can't have it. And I'll give you a perfect example. One of my favorite students of all time is Bikes and Beards. So it's Sean Kerr. He came to me, and I think it was 7 years ago or something like that, 6 or 7 years ago. And he was the worst storyteller in the history of YouTube. And he'll vouch for that. And you look at his content now, and he's one of the best storytellers on the platform. I mean, he's getting millions of views per release. And if you ever see his red couch, that's a mechanism of him pulling in the storytelling that he's doing. So if you understand what the red couch is, you'll understand what he's doing there. But the reality is this: he was very intentional. He went to Toastmasters. He hired a coach that was helping him do storytelling, and he worked on it. He worked on it. Now, I also gave him a lot of good feedback. One thing that I would do for everyone that's on the call or on the live stream right now is go download a book called Save the Cat. Save the Cat. Great concept. Will help you understand how to position your story where it's more memorable. and more impactful. And so definitely, be more intentional about learning. But just saying that you are an amazing storyteller, I'd say, maybe, maybe, but we can all get better.
So one of the things that you mentioned there is, if you don't want to, apply that, then, accept to not be memorable, essentially. So, as a part of that, if somebody is looking at it and they're like, man, I don't know how to apply this to my type of content, what's a thread that somebody can pull to start, uncovering ways that they might be able to inject that into what it is that they're doing?
Yeah, I think it would be just setting a little bit of time aside before making the video is what would be some things in my past, things that I've learned, things that have impacted me in a unique way that I can inject in the video. Now, I would always inject it. We can always edit it out later if it just doesn't flow right or whatever, but that's generally where it starts. And what I do love is a lot of these creators, they do it by their curiosity. I wonder what happens when we do this. Well, we're going to find out, and I love that because it's like, okay, you're getting that live reaction. You know what you're signing yourself up for. But then again, it's like that curiosity kind of leans in, sets up the story. You're able to engage, and depending on how well you're able to communicate your curiosity, or the payoff, whatever that may be, then that makes a great story. Now, let me further clarify one thing. This is really important. A lot of people pay off the story and it is done within a minute or two, and I've seen it over and over again. I'm like, well, what's going to get me to the end of the video? Because you just lost it. So that's one of those things I edited out where it's like, okay, we got it, and then there's still 5 minutes left, or there's still 7 minutes left. I'm like, nah, let's get rid of that, or they'll go down and have a segment where it feels like it's done, but it's really not. But they're not really setting it up properly for that next challenge or the next thing that they're engaging with. So ultimately, read the book. I think it was like Blake Snyder that wrote the book or something like that. Okay. Yeah. And then get the book, read it. It'll help you understand positioning and the setup and the way to flow things through it. And it's just a muscle that you have to start working. It's like, okay, let's work it in this video. A lot of people get frustrated, like, well, I didn't see any retention, increase. Well, okay, when you're first starting, you probably are not going to see it. And the better that you can get, the better videos. But if you can lose yourself in a video, that means that's the most amazing stories, that's ever done. If you're like, wait, we just sat and watched an hour video, it feels like 20 minutes. If you can get that, that's amazing storytelling.
So, like that's why, when you are watching TV shows and movies and things like that, because they do all that stuff at a professional level, and some YouTube videos as well, to where, you sit down and you watch it and you're like, wow, I didn't even realize that, that I had spent all this time, watching this. Or I guess that's the reason also to where when it comes to, Netflix, when you're watching a series where you're like, you know what, let me just get to that next one. And then, and then I promise after I watch this next one, then I'm going to stop for the night.
Well, you don't want the episode to end.
Yeah.
You're watching the episode and you're like, oh, I hope it doesn't end. I hope it doesn't end here. And then it ends and you're like, I'm just going to watch 15 minutes of the next one.
Well, let me just say that. A lot of people view great content just on YouTube, right? Great content's great content. Doesn't matter if it's a book form, movie, TV, or whatever. But the Korean market are really good at video, like really, really good. Korean, yeah. And I'm telling you, if you haven't watched K-pop Demon Hunter, that is like some of the most amazing content in the last 5 years.
I haven't watched
in the last 5 years. Not joking, because it hits all of humanity in a unique way, and it has a weird title, weird whole thing, but it pulls you in deeper than anything else. And the whole thing about it is, these were these huge movements that come on. So another Korean episodic TV show was Squid Games. That's it. And so it's just like there's a lot of that content that's really good, but they really know how to create those emotions. And I think they're some of the best storytellers I've seen, across the board. So
they did a good job at remaking Money Heist. The Spanish show Money Heist.
Yeah, it was Spain, right? That was way back when. It was like like 5 or 7 years ago.
Yeah,
that's the show. Yep.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, like who here that's hanging out right now in the chat, who here does actively try to, apply some of these principles to the content that you're making? If you do, say yes or say me. I'm just curious, how many people here are implementing some of this, or, if these are new ideas that you're running across right now. I'd just be curious to know. Because I know, when it comes to, this stream, we have, a range of, creators in here. But, most of the people in here, a majority, at least the people that are going in and filling out the forms have been on YouTube for a year or longer. So I'm just curious to know. Okay. Yeah. So we got some in here. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Good. Very cool. Yeah. Love it. So, and right here says, our Thrive Hive says starting over and applying channel jumpstart lessons. That's cool. Little shout out to Derral's channel jumpstart program right there. Hey, Derral, real quick, just for people that might be interested in that are hanging out in the stream right now, could you just give us some insights on channel jumpstart and what channel jumpstart is?
Yeah. So when I started The Chosen 7 years ago, I'm like, hey, I got to walk away from my one-on-one consults and working with the brands and bigger creators and such. And so I didn't want to just walk away and not bring value. And so what I did was, hey, what if I put my system that I'm working with my clients in a way that creators can consume it? And so at Vid Summit, we got kind of a beta group, or I guess an alpha group coming in, and we got 30 people, and they ended up being the case study for the book. You can see a lot of those that are in there using that formula that I teach. And so it's a 12-week program. The difference with this would be is if you want everything about the program, it's in the book. I'm telling you, it's there. I know it because, I wrote the book. However, I can't go as deep as I normally like to go in a book form, or this would be like 40,000 pages. Or maybe even higher than that. But so each week we just barely started another cohort this week. Each week they have an assignment. Assignments to do, and then very, very specific things that they need to consider as a creator or a business. And we're really trying to help them make the right decisions at the right time and ultimately go through the first 8 weeks, and they learn everything about my system. And then from 8 weeks to 12 weeks, it's just like really advanced strategy, because it's like once I can start having conversations that I can't normally do like here on a live stream like this, because it'll be like way over everybody's head because they don't have the foundation. Sure. I want them to see the foundation of what I view YouTube, how I see YouTube, and why I analyze the way that I do, and that's how we go deep dive into it. In fact, I had a coach. He was a student. Then we have accountability coaches. He was a coach. He actually took some time off. I mean, he was super successful in what he was doing. Took some time off, and his longer form videos that he did, he's just like, I'm going back through. I know what the stuff is, but I'm going to really be intentional with these next couple of videos, and released them. And he's getting millions and millions and millions of views per release on it. And it's just like straight hockey stick up. And it's beautiful to watch that. Once you understand humans, once you understand what they find valuable, once you understand they want to connect, they want that community, they want to love what they're into and talk about it with the people that are into the same thing, then you can actually fire a lot of those triggers that we talk about within Channel Jumpstart, but also the YouTube formula.
Nice. And with those concepts, because you mentioned your presentation at Vid Summit, are there crossovers in terms of, some of those ideas and what it is that you're sharing at Vid Summit as well?
Yeah, I'm really transparent. It's just like if I'm doing a 45-minute presentation at Vid Summit, it might be 10 minutes of a segment, where in my training it might be 3 days. It might be a couple like really detailed 4, 5, 6 hours worth of content. So it's just like more helping people see it in a simplified way. That's what I try to do. But some of them don't really see what I'm saying, or they don't know how to translate that to go deep. So.
Nice. And just as a reminder too, when it comes to Vid Summit, Derral, as well as, a bunch of other, very successful and experienced content creators, they're there to answer, questions. So, if this was a Vid Summit setting right now and we were all standing in a circle, just talking to Derral and just sharing ideas and stuff, this is one of those situations where you'd be able to say, hey, what did you mean by this? Or, hey, you said this, what did you mean by this? Or this is a video that I just published, and this is kind of, how it's going right now. What do you think, could be different here? Like that's where, that type of experience comes in extremely advantageous, for lack of a better way to say it.
Here's the thing, Nick, and I don't think a lot of people understand this. When you're only seeing your data, you're kind of biased to your own data. And
yeah, it's like tunnel vision. It's like, yeah,
it is. I've seen tens of thousands of back-end data. Like I've done so many consults. I've seen so many patterns. I've been doing this since 2005. It's just like, I can't unlearn what I've learned. I can't. It's just like, I see it and everything has kind of that pattern of where things are going. Like YouTube has its own pattern too, the pattern of history. That's why I actually put it in the book, because we're about to experience one of those patterns again with AI. It's like there's just moments that it just kind of disrupts the industry a little bit. And there's course corrections and issues and problems and all this other stuff. But that's kind of the nature of how big the platform is. And then two, how internal policies are at YouTube. So you're not going to change those two things. It's just you can almost predict it down to the whole thing. So for me, I've seen a ton of channels. I've seen so much data that I can speak into it. Like there's not a vertical that I have not seen not succeed on YouTube. I've seen every vertical succeed. There hasn't, like, you can get some of the weirdest concepts, and I've seen it. Like I've been a part of those discussions. I might even have a gold play button that you might not know about that might be one of those hyper fixated niches, whatever that may be.
So speaking of Vid Summit, just for the people that have, just joined the, stream since we've been having this conversation, in case they haven't heard of Vid Summit, could you give us, because, I gave kind of my interpretation of Vid Summit earlier. Could you give us, your thoughts about Vid Summit?
I sure can. Yeah. So Vid Summit is a creator event where creators help other creators. Like that's the whole culture of it. Roberto has been there so many times. He's actually kicking off the Vid Summit this year for us. He has one of the most important sessions of all time. It is the first session, and it's where people come and are willing to share what's happening right now, what's working right now on the creator economy, and things that you can take away from. None of them are literally going to, at the end of the presentation, sell you anything, because we don't allow that to happen. They need to provide value there. And then once you do that, in the hallways, there's conversations. You have the ability to go up and talk to the people that just gave a presentation. They will take time with you on answering questions. That just happens over and over and over again.
All night, even through dinner, even at the bar, all night long.
It just does. And so it's more like this huge opportunity to absorb a whole bunch of information around the creator economy, maybe connect the dots, look for that golden nugget, whatever that may be, meet people that might be on your staff, meet future partners you didn't even know you're going to do. That this is the place for it, because what we try to do is literally have no agenda outside of helping you grow on YouTube and make more money. And at the end of the day, if you can grow on YouTube and make more money, that is long-term sustainability. And that is the ultimate goal of what YouTube is. Well, what VidSummit is. We wanted to help creators be around, and not when they just get knocked off, not getting the views, and there's that freak out moment where they're like, "Help me, Derral, I need this." No, they already have a plan in place that maybe it's only like ad revenues, maybe only 12% or 20% of the revenue of that business. There's ways to do that. There's great case studies. There's great examples that you can get at VidSummit of helping you be successful there.
And then from the perspective of, somebody that's not the founder of VidSummit, I can tell you that, when you are, going there, like one of the really cool things about VidSummit is just how welcoming other content creators are. For some things like this, like when you go to them, like you feel uncomfortable, a little bit. When it comes to VidSummit, one of the things that's really cool about it is that, everybody there is also a creator. And, if you have other creatives in your life, then you know how cool it is just being around other creatives. It's like all of that concentrated into like one place. So it's just like a really welcoming, warm environment of a bunch of creative people sharing ideas also, which is really cool. And, for me, that's one of the amazing things about VidSummit is being able to make those connections and be in that environment because even with experience, because I've been doing this here in a few days, it'll be 11 years on YouTube. Wow. And when it comes to, what it is that you do, there's the online version like we're having right now, hanging out with you, Derral, my brother sitting over here. And there's the online version of everything. We're in chat groups, you're in Facebook groups and Discords, things like that. And all that's cool. But like when you actually are standing face to face with people and you're looking in their eye and you're able to just explore these ideas rapidly right there in person, it can make such a huge difference, not only in the ideas that you walk away from or walk away with, but also just in the inspiration that these ideas that you have are possible, and being around all of these other people that are actually living the experience that you're either at the beginning of or that you are trying to get to, and seeing that it's really possible. Because when it comes to this sort of thing in terms of like, hey, I want to be a full-time content creator, you might tell people that thing and they'll look at you like you're a crazy person, right? But when it comes to VidSummit, you are around a bunch of other people that are actually doing it. So you don't hear like, oh no, that's you don't want to. You hear like, oh yeah, that's what you want to do. You got to keep these things in mind. You want to make sure that you're doing this type of thing and so on. Like it's absolutely incredible in terms of the inspiration that you also pick up and the motivation that you can pick up in addition to the actual information itself. So thank you, Derral, for making that environment what you have.
Yeah, I need to say one other thing on it. If you're expecting to fangirl or fanboy out over someone, this is not the place for that. Literally, like what we want people to do is they have their online persona, right? We want them to have just, hey, we're colleagues, we're friends, we're family, let's just hang out. I don't have to perform. I want just to go there to do it. And I think Steph asked a question, if this was like only for experienced creators. No, it's only for people that are going to take it serious. That's it. Yeah. If you don't want to take it serious, don't come.
My presentation is actually more for people that don't have that experience. That's what my presentation is about, is basically how you go from like not having that experience and not getting the results that you want to actually transforming things in a way and taking the right approach so that you can get the results that you're after. And the reason that is my presentation is because, a lot of the people here that are hanging out in this live stream right now, you're either starting a YouTube channel or you've been on YouTube for about a year and you're trying to kind of navigate through everything. Or you're one of the, OGs, so to speak, that, things have been working out for you and you are, continuing to go and you like hanging out just for the community and that kind of stuff. So the reason for that presentation is just because that's my sweet spot in terms of, trying to, help you get to that next level. So if you are going to VidSummit, Stephanie, make sure that you definitely come into my presentation there because it's going to be perfect for you.
I believe that if you are an experienced creator just getting started, I think if you can invest in this, I think it's one of the best things you can do as a creator.
Yeah.
Number one, because you're going to be learning from people who are actually doing the thing.
People that are walking the path, right?
Yeah, it's people who are doing it. And these are people who, especially people giving presentations, Derral has vetted these people. These are not people trying to get you and lead you into some clickbait thing to try to sell you a course, or they're trying to tell you the new algorithm change, just trying to get you to click to try to get you to watch the rest of the video. Derral has personally,
not trying to get you to turn on that one YouTube setting.
Exactly. He has personally vetted every speaker at this event. As such, you are going to learn from the best in the business. Now, so number one, this keeps you on, this puts you on the right path.
Yeah.
So you leave there with the correct information, because there's a lot of bad information out there on YouTube. I hate to say it, a lot of YouTube educators, there's some great ones, there's some really bad ones, but this is going to put you on the right path. Number two, and I think which might even be more important, is that, and Nick touched on this, is that it shows you that it's actually possible. You're going to be surrounded by, Derral, what's the, how many people are coming this year?
It's well over 3,000. Yeah.
Over 3,000 people, of people who are just like you. They're at various levels on their journey, but it will show you that it's possible. And you can sit down and have a conversation with people who are doing the things that you want to do. And the motivation that you can take away from this, I can't even articulate how motivated you are when you leave this summit.
Yeah,
it's an incredible experience.
I think D, you said it right, like in the sense that someone might get some golden nugget out of a presentation, and then the conversation in the hallway leads down a road that you'd never have online. I can guarantee it. It just it doesn't happen, because you have people contribute, but it's more. There's just this energy. There's just this energy that's there. And the energy is this. And this is something I've been very hyper fixated on when I started Vid Summit, was the culture of Vid Summit. I did not want to lose the culture of Vid Summit. Well, what is the culture of Vid Summit, you might ask? And it's where people are willing to just be who they are and share freely, give more than they receive. And you get so much at Vid Summit. It's just because you got to be sharing. And it's great. And what's been beautiful is seeing people that will come in, explode, then they're on stage, then they're giving back and getting that motivation for other people to come on and just kind of go from there. It's great. So
yeah, and I'll add this to it, because I'm an introvert, and I don't normally do well in public environments like that where you're just surrounded by people. But when you're surrounded by people just like you, when you're surrounded by people who all share a similar goal, we've all gone through the same things, we've all hit the same struggles, we're all worried about our thumbnails and our titles, and are we choosing the right? Like we all have the same concerns. We're all trying to get to the same place there. It's a completely different vibe. So I will say this: if you are going, and if you are a wallflower like me, you do have to put yourself out there. Go find Nick. Go find me. Go find Nick. Go find other people in the community. Yeah. Go introduce yourself. Yep. It's fine.
Yep.
You know, go introduce yourself to people, talk to as many people as you can. That's where you're going to get the most value out of it.
Introduce yourself and ask what they do, and not try to just do your elevator pitch. This is not an elevator pitch meeting,
right? Exactly.
Or event. Just be curious. Like, hey, how did you get started? Like, what do you do? Where are you from? That whole thing. And you'll find out, wow, we have a lot in common. Like it happens a lot, a lot. So
yeah, and our Thrive Hive says introverts don't mind being extroverted when they're among family. Yep, feels that way. Yeah.
Well, I can say this, that like I've been working with the biggest creators on the planet. Most of the creators that move the needle, the biggest, they're introverts. They just are, and they create this persona so they can interact with people, but realistically they'd rather just be in their closet, watching YouTube videos. Like seriously, they're more comfortable doing that. So it's pretty funny.
It's wild, isn't it?
It is.
Crazy how it works out.
It is. Well, I think that's also, I think there's some focus that comes with that too, right? It's just some little like extra focus that comes along with, being introverted, because you'd rather just stay home and spend the time doing the stuff you love instead of going out and, intermingling with, the world, so to speak, or interfacing with the world at the mall. Right.
Yeah. I don't know who put down if there's like a workshop or a keynote that I'm excited for. I'll be honest with you. If I'm not excited, then they're not on stage. Like I got to get excited. So I'm literally excited about every every presentation there, and I can guarantee you I'm going to be watching every presentation. You want to know why I'm obsessed to win? It's because I'll take time after. That's why anyone that gets a pass gets a digital pass too, and go back through the library and see all the content. And I do that every single year, and it's really, really important. I would say from the founder, creator of Vid Summit, Cody Sanchez, I'm probably the most excited about, and then Linus Tech Tips. Like, I think those two are great. Mia Maples, I'm really excited about. She doesn't normally do this, and she was willing to do it. And for me, her talk is going to really resonate with a lot of people there, where you don't need to become the Mr. Beast. You just got to find your place, and you got to find your pace and pace. And then just build that support around you. And she's going to kind of go through that, which is, I'm really, really excited about that. So
nice. So Derral, as we start to close this out, so for content creators that are watching this right now, for the people that are kind of stuck in terms of, let's say they've, started their channel a year ago, year and a half ago, and they're still, not hitting view counts that they were hoping that they would hit by, this time. YouTube isn't impacting them as much as they, had hoped by this time. What type of advice do you have for those people that are hanging out right now that are in that situation?
Yeah. So when the live stream came on, you and Dee were having a conversation, and Dee mentioned it would be nice if YouTube would just give you more love on certain videos or whatever and keep you motivated. I think that's not good, Dee. Come on, Dee. No. They need to be good videos.
No, they need to be good. They still need to put them in front of the right audience.
No. But that's the whole thing, though. It's like that, and that's where I get a little picky on it. There's a reason why you're only getting 100 or 200 views, 10 views. There's a reason for that. It's not the algorithm. I'm telling you, it's not. And a lot of people are like, oh man, I just need it. I just need YouTube to surface this. I'm like, no, let's make a better piece of content for that viewer experience. And so, Dee, I didn't mean to throw you under the bus like that, but I
live under the bus, Derral.
No. It was a 1 out of 10 remark, that whole, how much I loathe that. So anyway.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. I think it's terrible for creator mental health.
But I think people ultimately look too much at their video and that's the most amazing video, but it's broken. It's not working properly. Whether the packaging is wrong, whether the hook is wrong, the setup's wrong, there's something broken. And you can see it with the data. However, you might not have the views to even get the data, so you don't know if it's working or not. But YouTube already tested it. If it has impressions on it, YouTube's already tested it. That's the way I look at it. And then too, on the reverse effect, I've had content creators that put so much time and energy into a video, and they're like, oh man, they're deflated because it got the exact same amount of views that they normally do, or even less. And they're like, man, this doesn't work. And I'm like, no. I mean, if it's a good video, it'll take off. And I truly do believe that. I believe YouTube will find its audience, and it will find it quickly if it's a really, really good video based on the parameters that it's doing it. It's just, that's the way that YouTube always operates. And so for me, I would say consistency and persistency. Be persistent to becoming the best type of content creator that you can, never giving up. Be willing not to discourage if you get 10 views. Don't be discouraged, because that's not why you're making content, right? What you're doing is you're going to get better. If you're going to get 10 views here, you know what? You're going to learn from those 10 views, and you're going to apply it next. You might realize, oh man, I put all this energy and effort when I didn't necessarily need to do it. I need to be able to do this, and maybe it consolidates your production. And so for me, I would say 100% be consistent, be persistent, and then really focus. If it was me, focus in on title, thumbnail, and hook and setup. Like if you can get that, like that first minute just dialed in, most of you guys will be getting tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views fairly easy on YouTube, because there's a huge market for it. There just is. I do get people that says, "Oh man, yeah, it is for you," but they don't see the subtle importance of it because they're not watching what good YouTube content is. They'll come on a live, and it's not me beating on the live stream because I love what we do here, but it's like, taking so much time educating yourself by answering questions, being, involved with that, but not taking enough time to watch what really good content is and be wow, that was really cool. Or I like the way they did that. Oh my gosh, this is so engaging. Maybe I can apply it with what I'm doing. That's how you become a better content creator. There's not a person on the planet that will instinctually never watch a YouTube video to make their first video get hundreds of millions of video views. It's not going to happen. And what they need to do is consume enough and consume really good content to know what good content is. And then two, know value. I think that's really important to know the value behind that. So what we should do, Nick, is give away a couple tickets to Vid Summit,
Awesome.
For sure. I think that's really important. And then we should give a ticket to D that he can give it out to anyone that he wants. I don't care what it is. It's his long lost play button story, whatever. So D, you get to give a ticket out to someone. I don't care if they're in any country or whatever. Just you get to randomly do it. You don't even have to do it on the call. You just need to give me the name and email. We'll get Chantel the name and email address, and we will get them a ticket. So
that's awesome. Thank you, Derral.
Awesome.
Thank you. I will do that. I appreciate that.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So
the Eves effects continue.
Yep, it does. Right. So yeah, we're all products of the Eves effect.
Yeah. We are. He brought you in.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of gave you early on with that, got you started. You brought me into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just think it's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah,
it is amazing.
Daryl's out there changing the world.
He is.
I love it.
He is one creator at a time.
I love it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a clever approach too,
Yeah, I love
because he's helping people that are helping people.
Yep.
So like the exponential effect
I
of
love
that
it.
is
Yeah,
pretty substantial.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you a secret. I don't normally do this, but if you got the YouTube formula book, go to not your normal acknowledgement. I share a story, has everything to do, like literally everything to do with why I do what I do. And if you notice, it's like after the appendix and all that other stuff, because it's like I wanted to put it for people that would actually go and find. And so if you do have the book, go to 305, read that, and you'll understand what they're calling the Eves effect. I'm very, very intentional. It's called the ripple effect. I had an experience with my grandfather that made me rethink life and made me want to become something better. But more importantly, realize that you can literally change the world. It's just one person at a time, and you never know who that one person will be. You really don't know who that one person will be. They could impact billions. You just never know who that's going to be. And so for me, go read it. It's a great story. You'll laugh at the last part of my dedication for sure. But 'cause it goes to my third grade teacher. But outside of that, it's great story, and you'll have more of the intentionality of why I do what I do. So.
That's awesome. And with all of the creators that you've worked with and all the views that you've also that are attributed to you by itself, you've probably reached over 1 billion people or impacted over 1 billion people through the effect that you've had. So, it's fantastic. And congratulations to you for, having that vision and, and following that vision through and making the impact that you have. Because I know, I can't speak for, everybody else, but, I know in terms of, myself, your, impact on my life and, and how that's also transferred over to D as well. It's been substantial, and it's been so substantial, in fact, that, here 11 years later, 9 years later, or 9 years earlier, shortly after I started my YouTube channel, I met, somebody here, and, because of the position that I'm in now, because of, doing this, I was able to, get the right visas and all that stuff, and set us up, with nice stuff here to where, we're pretty much covered, for the future, and, able to, to stay here in another country and be able to have, because we got married, recently, and be able to have, my wife, and all that stuff, and be able to, stay here with her because of all of this stuff too. So, it's been absolutely massively impactful, and, can't thank you enough.
Yeah. And I think the thing for me, and I'm not going to disclose anything at all, but just knowing kind of where you were at when we first talked, it is my joy to see where you're at now. It literally is. It's more than money to me. It's more than any gold play button. It's more than anything, because your life has changed, but it's not just your life, it's lives of others. And it's one of the most beautiful things to see, because then you now have impacted others. And you're impacting people every single week. And honestly, Nick, I'm your biggest fan, man. Like I am, because I remember that first conversation when you're in that deep hole. I understand how you felt, and it was just a beautiful moment to see you be willing to pull yourself out of it and put you in a position where you're at today. And that's why I love YouTube. That's why I love it, is because endless is the possibilities. It really is. And could you even imagine going back in time of where you were at in your own mind state of making the type of money and having the business and having, the things that come with this, It's just life-changing.
It is. It really is. Absolutely is.
All right.
So, all right, let's give away some Vid Summit tickets. Yeah, let's bring this back up a little bit. Let's get some Vid Summit tickets away.
I'm glad you said that you're his biggest fan, because
I love
thinking it was my brother. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm probably down there like 8th or 9th on the list.
Like when he succeeds, I succeed, man.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it,
Yeah.
So
I think it's awesome too. As an older brother watching my younger brother do this, it's been amazing. Watching his success, and a lot of that's through your help, Derral. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I love it. I love watching people succeed. So thank you.
All right, so someone to succeed to get tickets, right? Are we gonna get?
Yep.
Okay, you got it.
So here's what we're gonna do. Pick a word. D. Pick a word.
Vid Summit.
Vid Summit. We already did Vid Summit, so it's going to do that. So give me another one.
2025.
Okay, so we're going to do Vid Summit 2025 is going to be the thing. So here's the deal. So here in just a second, we're going to put, you already know what it is, so I'll just go ahead and put it up on the screen now. But basically what you need to do here is put Vid Summit 2025 into the chat right now. And you can see right here exactly what it is that you got to do. Yeah, no spaces. It should look exactly like this right here. And when you do that, what's going to happen is, as you can see right down here, it's going to start collecting these, and then we're going to hit a pick a winner to randomly pick someone right here from this. But keep in mind, when you are doing this, make sure that you can participate in some way in terms of getting to Dallas, Texas in October, so that you can, participate in this. If you can't get there, then in that case, this will get you the replays. Is that correct, Derral?
That is correct. Yep, you get a virtual pass.
Yeah, so we're just going to let a few of these come in here, and then we're going to go ahead and get this party started.
And then also, if you already have a ticket, you'll just get an extra ticket. You can't just refund your other one. You can give it to someone. That's the beautiful thing if you win this ticket.
So here we go. We are going to give it just a few more seconds to make sure you've had time to get it in there.
Home Rapid Repair says D is the smallest fan.
D is the smallest.
Yeah. Smallest fan. Yeah.
It would have been different if I would have had the play button, right? He's kind of fallen off now since
I was your biggest
play
fan.
button. Yeah,
I was
right,
your biggest
right.
fan.
I blew it with the play button.
Yeah, Derral can have that now.
Right.
Let's get this thing spinning.
All right, here we go.
Rather do it.
Boss It Live.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Congratulations. So what you need to do here, Boss It Live, is Chantel's going to reach out to you via the About Me or the email on your About Me page on your YouTube channel. But as a backup, in case you don't have that, also send me a DM on X if you can, or just shoot me an email at askniman@gmail.com. And when you do that, if you could just like screenshot this, and then that way, just send it along so that I know, that it's you. And then we will get the information that you need over to the Vid Summit staff. So for this next one here, Derral, how do you want to do this? You want to do another word in here? Do you want to pick somebody from the chat? Like, what do you want to do?
Let's do found play button.
Okay,
That's
here we
what
go.
I'm
Found
talking
play
about.
button is the word.
Found play button.
Words.
Here we go.
There we go. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, waiting for them to come in. Okay, there's one. Okay, there we go. A little bit of a delay, but they are coming in.
Coming in.
Super exciting and super cool of you, Derral, to give these away. I know there's there's a promotional aspect to this as well, but considering what's involved in the impact that somebody can receive by going to Vid Summit, like this is a really, really big deal.
Yeah,
and
it's a great opportunity.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity.
Like it would be super easy for you because that you're welcome on here at any time. So it would be super easy for you to be like, hey, let me come on the live stream and let's just talk about Vid Summit and promote Vid Summit. And we would do that, and then we would have a call to action and just send people over to get tickets. But you go way over that by coming on and being like, hey, we're not going to just promote Vid Summit. We're actually going to try to help some people get there.
Yeah,
I think that's such a cool thing to do.
Yeah. I just want to note the part where Daryl's like, I'm your biggest fan, and then you're like, you can come on here anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just want to, just wanted to make that connection there. How you guys are playing,
Okay. All right,
I've never been told you can come on the stream at any time. Daryl, I think
But you're automatically on the stream.
He's never said that to me.
Yeah, you're automatically on the stream.
Jealousy is a tumor. Get away from jealousy, brother.
All right, here we go.
Who's it going to be?
It'd be funny if Derral won his own ticket.
I know.
That was close.
I saw it pop up. I thought he was
I
gonna
know. That'd be hilarious. Who's it? Andrew? What does it say?
Andrew Z. True Crime Stories.
Dude.
Yep.
Congratulations,
Congratulations, Andrew. There. So same thing. Make sure that you send me a DM on X, and Chantel is going to reach out to you through your email and your About Me page. And just a quick reminder to everybody how important it is to make sure that you do have your channel set up fully for situations like this. So if you don't have your email and your About Me page,
right?
This might be one of those situations where you'll be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't have this on my About Me page so they could actually get in touch.
Yeah.
All right. So are we doing another one, or is that our
let's do another one. We gave D a ticket to give away, but I want him to give it to someone personally that he wants to help. But we can do another one. We can do another one.
Okay. So
it pays to be on the live streams, guys. Those that are watching the replay right now, just pays.
Right.
That's right.
It does.
Yep.
So let's see here. So for the word, Derral, what do you got?
I don't know. Mexico.
Chosen. That's a good word.
Ooh.
Oh, chosen's good. I like that.
Yeah, in this case, it's got like double stuff going on here. So so Daryl's the executive producer also of The Chosen, the TV series, which is also coming out as a movie as well. And I think in this particular situation, if you're going to be chosen for a winner here, I think that's pretty cool too, in terms of, kind of making that connection there.
Yep. Love it. And sorry.
Daryl's not going to have an international release.
Yeah, no, it's on Netflix International right now.
No, I mean the movie. You said you were going to make a movie.
We've always had international release on the last 2 times we were in theaters. But yeah, we'll be in every theater for this one coming up.
Nice.
I think it's 26 languages out of the gate.
Oh, wow.
Is Thai one of them?
So yes.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, because my wife, she her English isn't quite up there yet, so because of that, when we watch movies and things like that and TV shows, like we usually default to stuff that also has Thai subtitles on it. So so that's cool.
Yeah, we're actually the most translated show in the world. So
nice.
Oh wow.
we beat out a little show called Baywatch. The Baywatch used to have the most translations, but yeah, we were able to do that. And we have there's like a nonprofit called Come and See. that is obsessed. They want to get it in 600 languages for the TV show.
Wow.
So
wow.
Okay, here we go. That's incredible. Oops. Okay, so let me switch my thing here. You
Let's
think
get this
I've
thing
done this
spinning.
before? Okay, here we go. Home rapid repair.
that he
He's
gets
going
All
already.
right.
there you
Yeah,
go.
he's going already.
He's going
Yeah,
already.
he's a +1. He can give it to someone. This is great.
Okay, perfect.
A plus
Perfect,
one.
perfect,
There you
perfect.
go.
Yep. So you know what to do in that situation there. So yeah, so Chantel get you sorted there, or you can just shoot me a message because we're already connected everywhere. So yeah, so awesome. Yep. That's super, super cool. Derral, again, thanks, man, so much for coming on the stream today and sharing your, helpful insights. All the storytelling stuff was super helpful as well. So thank you so much for, your insights on that also. Thanks for doing what it is that you do. And thanks for giving away the Vid Summit tickets. And I'm excited to see you here in, a month from
Tomorrow.
In a month. Yeah. So super excited to see you here in a month. And yeah, I will talk to you soon. If you are a content creator that is struggling right now and you are hitting the wall in terms of, you're like, hey man, I just want want it to do better. It's not where it is that I want it right now in terms of the response that you're getting from your content. Just remember that YouTube comes with a learning curve, just like anything else that you're going to do. If you learn how to play an instrument, you have to figure out the instrument that you're going to play. It's going to be like your niche. You got to figure out, the notes of that instrument and how to play it. You got to figure out all the details that go along with that instrument. And then you got to practice like crazy until you get good at it. Yeah. So when it comes to a hobby, the same exact thing. You get into something and then you got to figure out all the, things about it and how to do all the different things in the hobby. If you start a new job, you have to figure out how to do all the things related to that job. YouTube is the same exact way. So if you are struggling right now, just remember that where you're at, or that what's happening is, you're just in that part in the learning curve that you need to get past. And the way that you get past that is by developing your skills around all of the things that we need to know how to do as content creators. And of course, developing your understanding of the people that you're trying to reach with your content. And then also just making sure that you keep plugging away and, practicing the art of making content that people have a positive response to. But hang in there. You got this. Have a great rest of your weekend. We will see you next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Derral, thank you so much for coming on the stream. Again, super appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
If you didn't win a Vid Summit ticket, make sure that you go to vidsummit.com to find out more about that. And if you can't go in person, you can also get the actual replays there as well. So make sure that you check that out at vidsummit.com. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time.
Hit the sub button, hit the like button. If you're having fun, comment, type something. If you're laying back, leaning and engage, just take a second to smash the whole page.